All right, all right, all right. Welcome, party rental people. Super excited to be doing this. We're just going to be starting in just a few seconds here. Guess this isn't going to work. We'll just minimize it. Where are you guys at? Who's here? Tell me you guys can hear me. Tell me you guys are here. Tell me you guys are tuning in so we can get this party started. Super excited to be talking about this. This is one of my favorite topics ever. Really, just off season. As somebody who's in a colder climate where we really struggle, this is everything. You know, this is what could make you or break you. This is what could break your soul. If if this is what you count on, you have a really good summer, you reinvest all your money, and then next thing you know, you're you're broke again at the end of the year. So no shame in the game. Definitely excited to be talking to you guys about my experiences, about what I've gathered, and really just to hope to get you guys from where you are to a better place. So let us jump right in. What's on the agenda for today? 4 things you can do to survive the off season. Yes, super excited. We're also going to have a brainstorm session at the end where you guys get to hear from us and from a lot of other operators who've been around a little bit longer, what they do during the off season, how they stay busy, how they make money. And you could just kind of listen to their ideas, what they do. I'm always dumbfounded by what I hear during these sessions. It's always something new, like, wow, I wish I thought of that. And, of course, free gift at the end is a thank you for you guys listening to me blabber all the way till the end. I have a free gift for you guys. If you stick around till the end, I'm going to share with you guys my key ingredients to grow your bounce house business fast. You guys know I put a lot of content out there. I grabbed the most essential stuff. I'm organizing it for you guys, and I want you guys to have it. It's super awesome. In addition to everything we're going to talk about today, all the notes from today, all the links from today, everything is going to be sent to you at the end. That is my gift to you guys. It's jam packed. So 100% want you guys to be taking notes. 100% want you guys to be all in on this. But just in case, I'm going to be giving you guys all this stuff here so that you guys have it in links. So who is this for? Are you guys in the right place? If you're a party rental business owner, then yes, you're in the right place. If you want to grow, you're just not sure how, right? You want more bookings, you're tired of being stuck, or maybe you're doing well, you just want to learn something new. So that's who this is for. If any of this applies to any of you guys, then you are in the right place, my friends. 60 to 90 minutes is what I'm hoping my portion of this will take. I'm probably a lot less. I'm hoping closer to 60 because after an hour of me talking. But like I said, after that, we're going to open it up for Zoom. Put your questions in the chat, guys. So we have awesome moderators. I know Jana's here. We have an awesome community who really has been contributing and watching all these videos and joining. So they know a lot of stuff. So if it's your first time here, or maybe you're not too familiar with the industry, post in the comments, and you're going to see a lot of people are going to chime in and help you out. And if all else fails, I definitely make it a point after the webinar to go back and answer any unanswered questions. Sometimes it takes me a few days. We get tons of comments sometimes, but definitely no comment will be forgotten. Who am I, by the way? Who the heck is this guy that's over here telling me what to do? My name's Tariq El Khatib. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am a party rental business owner, just like most of you guys. That's my warehouse there to the right. I'm a college instructor as well. So that what you're looking at right there is actually my first graduating class. Very cool stuff. I like to teach. Hope you guys think of a good teacher at the end of this. I was actually nominated for Teacher of the Year. I didn't win, but it was pretty cool to get nominated. I'm a digital marketer. There's my home office with my beautiful cup right there. And what most of you guys know me as is the founder of Event Hawk. We're a Google partner. We've had articles posted on news stations like NBC and Fox, yada, all that good stuff. This is a little video I put together for my YouTube channel. I really like this little bumper. It's like a 5-second thing, but that's just at IAPA. We'll talk a little bit about IAPA. That's a mentorship roundtable. IAPA, again, our team, our kids were in there, and we help hundreds of regular people start and grow their businesses. Now it's your turn. Yeah, very corny. I just really love this. Just the smiles in this video. Really awesome. Makes me helps me take pride in what I do. So I hope you guys feel that towards what we're doing. So 4 things you can do to survive this off season. 2 of these things that all of us, or that I recommend that we do, are 2 of these things that you can do during the off season. Everybody should do, and 2 of them are just really optional. Depends how aggressive you want to be. Number one, first and foremost, is really to adjust your business for the off season. And what that means is really just making your business off season proof, whether that's marketing, whether that's preparing your equipment. And that's the first thing, just promoting for holiday events. Guys, during off season, we have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas. Whether you have holiday themed units or not, that's just mentioning the holidays on your website in your promotions. That's going to remind people that they can rent tables and chairs from you, that they can rent a bounce house, even if they come in they come in to rent a bounce house for a birthday at the end of September, and then they see that you're promoting for Halloween. They can say, oh, I never thought to rent a bounce house for Halloween. That's a pretty cool idea. I can do that. Also, your winter inventory, like heated tents and things like that. That's something that that a lot of us don't mention. You want those things to be front and center, and so that people can go ahead and know that this is what's an option in the wintertime, right? Indoor events, again, a lot of people don't think to do indoor. A lot of people don't think to that indoor is an option. Again, as somebody who's in the Chicagoland area, it is tough. I've had off seasons where I've barely made it. I've had off seasons where I had to borrow money just to make it to the next season. So I know how it is. My goal with this is really to help you guys not only survive but thrive. One thing that I did at one point was I collected a bunch of indoor. I contacted a bunch of indoor venues who allow bounce houses. I put them on a list and I shared it with on my Facebook page and things. It didn't really do much, but you really try to do everything you can just to get those events. But really, with this, just mentioning these things on your website for people who come in is really going to make a decent impact. This is very important here. Make sure you put away everything dry. A lot of us, if you've been in business anytime at all, you know what a little bit of water can do in a bounce house when you roll it up. Even if it's just damp, I'm not talking about putting away a wet unit, just a damp unit. You open it up a month later, a few weeks later, and it is moldy. And yes, you can clean that sometimes, but if it's a popular unit and it's just the off season, and if you're in like me in Chicago, yes, you're going to have a bunch of your inventory is going to sit for a while. Even in warm, like if you're in Florida or Texas, you're not going to have the kind of business you had in the summer. So some units, some less popular units that you had are going to be sitting there. And again, if they're put away even damp, once you open them back up in the summer, that's going to be not only a lot of time for you to clean, if possible, if it's even clean, if you're able to get rid of the mold, it's going to be thousands of dollars in lost profits from you renting that unit out. And if you're going to order another unit or whatever, it's going to take months for you to get it. So there goes a whole season. So definitely be careful with this. Another point to make with this is you have all these plans for off season, but we all I don't know who's doing that. I don't even know how you're doing that. We all have these plans, but we realize halfway through the off season halfway through like September that all of our employees just kind of disappear. They go back to college. The high schoolers, they can't really work anymore. Their parents say, I just can't work as late. So next thing you know, you're doing all these things on your own and you're breaking your back. So keep that in mind, right? Who's here? Who's I'm curious. Who's been through this? Where probably already you may have lost some workers. I know we've already had some people say, "Hey, I can't work anymore. I'm going back to college." So I'm curious if you guys have experienced the same thing. Let me know. It's really discouraging when you have all these plans, like you got all these Halloween gigs or something like that, and then it's like, oh, I can't work. Like, who's going to do this? It's going to be you and your wife or something like that. So it's definitely something you want to. After you make that mistake once, you don't make it again. In my experience. Sorry, going the wrong way here. Update your site again. Put everything front and center. Talk about winter. Talk about your the holidays. Put up a new banner. Put up a video. You can create your own through Canva, which is what I do. We'll talk about Canva a little bit more. Or I know Liam has from Urban Hippo. He has some stuff that you could buy for like under $100. And if you're an Event Hawk member, you get a discount too. So make sure you get that code from us. Another one is updating your ads. This is really big for when we did tents. Just saying the word heated tent made a huge difference. You can try saying, Thanksgiving bounce houses and Christmas themed. If you'd like us to try that, just let us know if you're running your ads. It's not very effective for like the bounce houses in my experience. but it's worth a shot for just for people who may be looking. That may be that breaking point where they say, oh, this guy has stuff that's indoors, like saying indoor bounce house or something like that. And last but not least, send a mass text message and mass email to let your customers know and your lead list know that you are open for the off season, to let them know that this is an option. This really blew us away last year. We did the Christmas, for those of you guys who've been with Event Hawk for any time at all. You remember last Christmas we sent a very well worded mass text. We helped our customers put together a mass text for Christmas, and we had people reporting record breaking Christmases, making record breaking cash, especially in warmer states where they just sent out this text. So they did like this special, and you can play around with it, but you do like a 2 or 3 days for the price of one, because you don't want to deliver and pick up on Christmas anyway, right? So you deliver it the day before, pick it up the day after, or something like that. And I'm telling you, it is amazing. So if you're interested in this, just text us. We'll help you put together a mass text message for Event Hawk members. We can help you send that out. Word it, because wording is everything. Timing is everything. You could do that. The same thing for Halloween and Thanksgiving, but this works. Sending you you get emails every single day from all these places you do business with. Texting is similar. You don't want to text as aggressively as you email, but just reminding people that you're there, that sometimes is what you need to get people to really, for you just to be busy enough. So that was number one. Again, let me annotate here. How do you get rid of this annotate stuff? Clear all drawings. Somebody's over here drawing on my presentation. Okay, so we talked about number one was preparing your business for the off season. Number two is going to be repurposing your existing inventory for new things. This is one that I no longer do. I've tried this in the past. I prefer to focus on what I'm good at, but repurposing your inventory means trying to do something different, like for example, a pumpkin patch, right? This is where you work with a local pumpkin patch or something like that, and you say, hey, you got all these people coming. What if we brought the inflatables? You sold tickets. We split the cost, something like that. These are seldom successful ventures. If you ask in the group about pay to play, that you'll hear a lot of horror stories. Why am I mentioning it? Because a lot of us really want to do this. Every business owner, every party-owned business owner thinks to do something like this. Like, hey, well, the stuff's sitting around anyway. I might as well repurpose it and do my own event. Tread carefully, ask a lot of questions. All this to say, the reason I'm mentioning it here is because 9 times out of 10, you end up losing money. Same thing with like school fundraisers. It's pretty cool. It sounds great in theory, where it's less risky because it's inside and stuff. But basically, you work with a school and you say, hey, we'll provide all this stuff. You sell tickets to this fundraiser event, and then we'll split the cost somehow. Again, you really need to know what you're doing. So if this is something you're interested in doing, we've done one where we did really well and one where we just bombed. We lost tons of money. We did our own event. So reach out. Just if my experience was to do it free and charge vendors. So we did our own pay to play. When we charged like $2 a ticket or $5 a ticket, nobody showed up. When we did it free, we just did it free to the community. It was insane. And what we did was we charged like a taco truck. We charged them like $700 to be there. We charged a funnel cake guy to be there. We charged henna, face painting. We charged all these vendors. We had them pay, but we had it free to the public. And it was like, it could have been on the news. It was like we were overrun. But again, it's not something that you want to just kind of do just because you think there'll be money in it. It's very, very difficult. And lastly, just partner with schools, venues, churches, whoever you already have relationships with. This is something that's really important to keep in mind, guys. You're in this for the long run. You don't have to get all this right this year. Just if you already have, before you go to all these new churches and schools in the off season, just work with your kids' school, with your church, wherever. Just try to see what you can do. And once you get something at work, then now you have kind of like a testimonial to go to other places and be like, hey, this worked for this church. This worked for this school. It could work for your school. So that's what repurposing your equipment is. Again, it's, in my opinion, for where I'm at right now, it's counterproductive. I would rather do what I'm going to share with you guys right now, number 3. I would rather focus on number 3. And that's where I get the biggest return. That's where I make the most money, is number 3. But I know this is something a lot of us consider doing. So number 3, setting yourself up for a record-breaking year. Rather than focusing all your energy on making money this off season, what if you could focus on just blowing it out of the water next year? Well, Tariq, what do you mean? I need money now. I know you need money now, but listen, hear me out. If you put in 110%, I'm just throwing a number out there. Maybe you're going to make, I don't know, $50,000 all off season long. Okay. These are like real numbers, right? If you're like making like maybe you make 50 or 20 all off season long. What if you don't make that? What if you say, forget it. I don't need that. And that's really, and for somebody like me, that's a lot in off season. What if you just forget about that and you say, instead, I'm going to set myself up to double what I made last year. So let's say last year or 2022, you made $200,000. Instead of putting 90% of your effort to make an extra $20,000, $30,000 in the off season, what if you could work on doubling to go from 200 to 400 or from 100 to 200? That's really what you really should use the off season for, in my opinion, because it's really when we finally get a chance to actually take a breath and act on everything we learned. I mean, we are all so active on Facebook, and we don't do anything with what we just like read posts, we like, we share, and we don't act, we don't implement half that stuff. This is the time to do that. So the number one thing that I recommend every single one of us do this offseason to set ourselves up for a record-breaking next year is to learn and invest in your education. Love this quote from Benjamin Franklin: for the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. Whether you got a purse or wallet, this is, I mean, I love, it's so true. It's so true. What you learn and what you can do with what you learn, I mean, it's just phenomenal. Because if you don't, this next quote by Howard Gardner, if you think education is expensive, try estimating the cost of ignorance. I want to show of hands, who here knows the cost of ignorance? Right? Seriously, tell me in the comments. How many people here wish that they learned something before doing it without just jumping in and made a really costly mistake, right? I mean, I could tell you my horror stories. I'm sure you guys have it. Just jumping into something, just saying, you know what? I got this. This looks fine. This looks easy. I can do this. I love your motivation, but without learning, you end up shooting yourself in the foot, and you're just like, oh man, I wish I knew. So this is the time. Think about this as your future self, right? Coming back in the past and saying, hey, take a breath. Don't try to go and kill it this off season and do all this crazy stuff and do this pumpkin patch and do that. Why don't you just focus on learning for next year? Why don't you focus on, we already know what you're good at. We already know you made 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 just renting bounce houses. Let's see if we can increase that by 30%. I mean, that's super reasonable, right? We could totally double that. You know, what are the reasons? What stopped you from making double what you made? You didn't have enough inventory. You didn't have enough guys. Maybe you didn't have the right space. Maybe you didn't have the vehicles. Let's find solutions to those problems. Because my last quote here, just really, really true as well. A man who carries a cat by the tail learns something he can learn in no other way. Too many of us are carrying the cat by the tail, right? We just jump in. We're like, it's really what it sounds crazy. It's a great quote by Mark Twain, but that's what a lot of us do. We just, oh, this looks fine. I think I got this. Learning through trial and error, guys, is the most slow and painful way to learn. Learn from someone like me who's made tons of mistakes. Someone like Jana. There's so many people with more experience than me out there. Just take the time to get mentored by them. This is when you can do that. So it starts with studying your market, right? Go ahead and study your market. Do all the, what are your competitors charging? For how long? What units do they have? What are their policies? Right? Write this stuff down. Actually, like I know I did a video, and I'll link to it in the in the link that I share with you guys at the end. I did it where I literally have a spreadsheet where I put all of my competitors in a list, what they charge for a 15 by 15, what they charge for a combo, what they charge for a 15-foot water slide. And then I kind of strategize from there. It's not always about like, oh, well, I'm going to charge more than everybody else. Why? Why should you charge? Like, what makes you better, right? You can charge more than everybody else, but you need to know also how many reviews they have. And this is how you strategize. This is where you do that. Learn about expanding your inventory. A lot of us are like, yes, 2023, I'm going to get into tents. I'm going to do foam. I'm going to start renting out dumpster trucks. This is where you should learn this stuff. This tent that you're looking at was one of the most miserable days of my life. We got hired. This was a $3,000 job. It was like literally my second tent job. I kid you not. This was in March. I'll never forget. And it was for a business. And I had no idea what I was doing. that day I said, I wish I never got into this. And I wish I'll sell all this, right? I kid you not. I had like 4 guys with me setting up the tent, maybe 5. And I was so overwhelmed, so frustrated, not knowing what I'm doing. We couldn't get the tent up. We would get it up and then one leg would fall off. It was windy, it was cold. And I'll never forget. I go into the truck and I'm just like, I'm praying and I'm like, God, I don't know. And then one of the guys comes up. He's like, is everything okay? Like, what are we doing? It's dark. And he's looking at me and he sees what I'm doing in there and he freaks out. He sees me watching a YouTube video mid-job and he turns around and tells the guy, hey, this guy's watching a YouTube video here. And he literally, like, they left. They got an Uber and left that day from the job. And thank God none of those guys are with me anymore. But I was super embarrassed. They were newer guys and they saw me literally try to find a YouTube video. And at the time, there weren't really many YouTube videos on how to do this because I thought I had it right and I just didn't. So this is a time to really learn this stuff. I'll share with you guys at the end a link to a video that I made on how you can see how many people in your area actually search for tent rentals or foam party. I mean, you see this stuff on Facebook, right? Like, oh yeah, my foam machines are killing it. Or yes, photo booths are great. Or, well, how many people are actually looking for that stuff in your area? Okay, that's number one. How many people are looking for that stuff in your area? And number two, how does that compare to bounce houses, right? If I told you, hey, there's 2,000, there's 100 people every month looking for foam parties in your area, and you should totally do that. Oh, wow, 100 people, Tariq, that sounds great. Well, what if I told you got 3,000 people searching for bounce houses every month? Would you even, why would you even bother with the fun? Like, that's like not peanuts. Why don't you focus on, unless you're totally, unless you're not booking out every weekend, right? Unless you have 100 units already that aren't being rented, but that's kind of the research you have to do. And I'll share that video with you guys at the end of this on how you can actually research your area to see how many people in your area are searching for tents, foam machines, or photo booths, all that good stuff. Read books, read business books, right? I'm not a huge reader. I'm not ashamed to admit. I watch YouTube videos, but this is a book I read that really changed my business forever. Profit First. I actually made a video about it that I'll share with you guys as well. This took us from not getting paid, being broke every year, reinvesting all of our money into our business, really affecting my marriage, where my wife is like, Tariq, when is this better life gonna come? This book really changed all that for me. Profit First, where now I'm able to pay myself. We get paid every week. We still reinvest in our business and grow, and we're able to save enough during the summer months to where we don't have to work for pretty much 6 months out of the year. This book has made that happen. So I highly recommend you guys read this book. If you're not much of a reader, I made a YouTube video that summarizes this book, and it tells you exactly step by step what the book is about and how I tweaked it. Honestly, the book is a little bit too aggressive for me. I couldn't really follow. I followed it 100% at first, and it just didn't work out. But I made some tweaks for the party rental industry. So I'll share that link with you guys, how I did that at the end of this. I definitely recommend you guys do that. And I'm super excited to announce, some of you guys already saw, but I'm releasing my own line of a few books here that are going to be coming out next week. This is really my life's work. I know videos are where it's at, but sometimes you don't want to sit through an hour-long video just to get a simple 3-second question. So what I did basically, instead of writing one big book, I divided it into 4 books. How to start a party rental business from scratch. That's Party Rental Business Playbook. Just really overall everything you need to know about the party rental industry. Party rental website playbook. Turn your website into a money-making machine without spending thousands of dollars. You really don't need a website that's thousands of dollars, right? So I have a playbook about that. How to get more bookings without spending a ton of money or cutting your prices. And party rental marketing playbook. How to market your party rental business better than most experts. These are, I'm super, super proud of these guys. These are going to be released next week in digital format. I'm super excited, hoping to print one day, but it's amazing. I'm going to tell you guys how you guys can get these, a free copy at the end. I'm super, super excited about this. But really, a lot of you guys are like, well, Tariq, some of you guys are like, well, I have somebody who does this for me. That's great. Eventually, where you want to be is you don't really want to be doing your own marketing or building your own website. You want to have delegate, because there's things only you can do, like creating a culture in your workspace. But for a lot of you guys, you're just starting out. I know it's hard to pay somebody to do all these things. So that's where this stuff comes in. Right now, you don't have the money to pay thousands of dollars every month for somebody to run your business for you, but you have the time, right? So if you have the time, then you need to go ahead and learn this stuff. Learn the law. This is a big one here. Every year you should get at least a little bit smarter about your local and federal laws. IRS, Department of Labor, state laws. First time I'm sharing this publicly, not too long ago, I actually got a phone call of a guy. He said, "Hello, Tariq. I'm outside of your bounce house business. Open the door. Who the hell are you?" He said, I'm with the Department of Labor. I'm here to do an audit." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I'm like, "This was not scheduled." He's like, "Yeah, we do these pop-in things." Long story short, one of our employees complained that that we were underpaying him or something like that. He's been a pain in the ass all year, but he basically has been making threats to other employees saying, "Yeah, you guys should find another job. I'm going to take down the business." He's been with us 2 years. This kid just flipped. And interestingly, I don't know if Stacy Chase is here, but she said something last time we talked. I did an interview with Stacy. She said the best employees are the wrestlers and the worst employees are the track runners. And sure enough, this guy is on the track team in high school. I don't know what it is, but he's like our only guy who's on the track team. And he went and complained. It was the tips actually is what pissed him off. He thought he should get more in tips and he wanted more hours, but he thought we were holding off on his tips. Be careful with those digital tips. It's you need some transparency with that. Long story short, we did end up passing the audit. I had to get a lawyer to sit in on the audit, and that's really what saved us. But you should at least know this stuff. Had I known some of this stuff, I could have educated this employee that, listen, man, here are your rights. Now that I know this, I have posters in my office that say this is the minimum wage. This is the law about overtime, just so that the employees don't secretly feel like you're robbing them. I know it's not an issue for a lot of us, but just slowly working on this stuff. Definitely recommend. And even if you don't have like an office, even a digital like handbook for your employees for them to know what's up and what's down. Definitely recommend that you guys put some effort into that. Learn basic graphic design. This has really helped my business. I was just telling Jan, no offense to anybody, but one of my biggest pet peeves is working with graphic designers. I feel like it's a thankless job. I almost feel bad for them. I guess you can't. It's very hard for them to take what's in here and put it on paper. So I get their frustration, but I rarely find a graphic designer who actually does the job that I want them to do. And learning graphic design is super, super important. Just with Canva, it's so doable, and you guys can totally do it. I want to show you guys my 10-year-old, actually. She sits next to me sometimes, and she saw what I was doing, and she's like, "Oh, can you show me how to do that?" And I did. I spent like 5 minutes from her, and look, this is what she did. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This is what my 10-year-old was able to do with 5 minutes of me sitting with her. I helped her do this first one here. Next thing you know, she's putting all the stickers. That's Yasmin. And then check out what she was able to do on her own. I mean, this just really blows my mind. This is Canva. It's like $10 a month. It's super worth it. I don't have an affiliate link for you guys, so it's just something I recommend you guys do. There's a free option, but the pro version, you get a bunch more features. But look at what she did. She was able to grab her own picture, remove the background. How cool would that be? Who here wants to learn how to remove the background from their bounce houses? My 10-year-old did that in like 5 minutes. Tell me in the comments. I just might make that my next video. I'll show you guys how to do that with Canva. Super easy. And she did this. Like, it just blows my mind what a 10-year-old could do. You guys could totally do this, right? Don't get stood up by a 10-year-old. Oh, she did this for me. She knows I like Pokemon. This is what I really want to do in the off season. Play Pokemon with my kids. There's a new game coming out. I don't know if you guys know. Hit me up. Let's play. But yeah, she just made this. Like, this is an animation too. Like, check this out. Like, I don't even know how to do some of this stuff. Like, look at this. Look how it animates. Like, what 10-year-old? If she could do it, you guys can too. She made this with her cousin, like a cafe. They made like a menu for us to order stuff. So it's totally doable, guys. If you guys are interested in that video, let me know. I'll make it a priority and make that my next YouTube video. But this is something it's a lot of fun. Creating your own designs, removing backgrounds from you. It just makes you more productive in your own business. It's just one of those things that I feel that you as a business owner are the best person to work on your graphic design, at least on a basic level. right? Because you know what's in your head. You know what you want it to look like. Watch industry YouTube videos. You guys need to binge watch this stuff. Nick Glassett, Party Rental Knowledge Group, Justin Faraccio. I have 2 YouTube channels. I have the Event Hawk channel and then my own YouTube channel for Tariq El Khatib, where, I mean, this is all highly relevant stuff to the party rental industry. Great, great content that, you know, you see all these YouTube videos, you subscribe to these channels and you never watch them. This is the time to binge watch this stuff and actually go ahead and implement some of this stuff. So I'll share links to all these channels with you guys at the end here. And last but not least, when we're talking about learning, or when we're talking about learning and investing in your education, probably my favorite. Well, nope, there's one more. There's 2 more then. Marketing courses. I have my own marketing course that I came out with recently, Party Rental Bootcamp. Party Rental Marketing Bootcamp. Some of you guys attended the live session, but this is like the most intense course for party rental marketing on the market, period. It's got over 10 hours of advanced marketing how-to videos on Google Ads, SEO, social media marketing, and a lot more. Saves you from literally having to pay $3,000 a month for a marketing team. Now, some of you guys are paying us to do your marketing, right? Don't get me wrong. You're not going to get the quality as if, you know, we were doing your marketing. But for a lot of you guys, you can't afford to pay all this money. You want to get there, right? Like, you want to get to a point where you have a marketing team. Like, what would that cost for you? What would that be worth for you, right? To have a marketing team. Instead of having to pay, you know, $15, $20 an hour, it's way less to hire an expert company like us. But I understand, I know that not everybody's there yet, right? Not everybody can afford that. So if you at least have the time, if you have a kid like your son or your nephew or somebody, or just, you know, your secretary who can learn this stuff, or even you in the off season, this course, if you learn it, I believe that what I teach you in this course, you will learn to be better than most marketing experts out there, if only for the party rental industry, not for any other industry, right? If you have another company and you say, hey, I'm going to implement this, not true. But for this industry, we have so much experience. This course is $997 for all this stuff. It's a one-time payment. I'm going to tell you guys how you can get it free at the end of this video. So stick around. But this is over 10 hours. I mean, it is step-by-step, brutal details. It gets to be very, very intense with a lot of troubleshooting. So I definitely recommend you guys check that out. We talk about how to get more bookings, how to be a better salesman, how to set up your Google Ads, how to optimize your website, how to do your own SEO. And then this one is actually available to all Event Hawk members. Let's see, Nick Glassett and Lakeisha Bussey helped me put this together when I was away. So this social media marketing bootcamp is like 3 hours long, and it's available to all Event Hawk members free. You just go ahead and text us in, and we can give you access to that. But this one is super helpful. Thank you again, Nick and Lakeisha, for helping put that together. We also have some bonus content in there. Tent Rentals 101, Party Rentals 101, Employees 101, Bookings 101, how to name your inflatables. What's the best way? Yeah, it matters. Like, the name of your inflatable matters for SEO and for conversion. How to pay yourself like a boss, 3 ways to get cash to grow your inventory, IAPA, and how to get more schools to rent from you. All of those bonuses are in this bootcamp as well. Last but not least, this was my favorite. Go to IAPA. For a lot of you guys who don't know what IAPA is the convention in Orlando, Florida, every November for this industry. It's really, really awesome. For me, now a lot of people go to IAPA to get the deals, right? Yes, there are deals on IAPA. Yes, you can go there and get all these great deals. For me, it's like a reset, right? Who right now, who feels like, you know what, I wish I never got into this business. Screw this, I'm selling. Seriously, show of hands. By the end of the season, you're like, screw this. I don't know what I was thinking. This is terrible. I never get to see my family. I blew my summer away. When you go to IAPA,
think about it
every week, exactly. But when you go to IAPA, it's like a reset. You meet so many people, you talk to so many awesome people, and you're like, this is why I do this. There's all these other people that are, it's kind of like the you know, when you're all struggling together and you see all these people that are doing what the head, you share your success stories, your horror stories, you network, you talk to people, it's IAPA. If I had to put in what IAPA is like, the Facebook group in real life without the, well, I guess there's some drama, but this is actually a video that I just came across yesterday. This is by Justin, who just popped in. Thank you, Justin. But I never even seen this video until yesterday. But this is Justin at IAPA. This is a quick sneak. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this is him coming up to our booth. That's me and Jana with our tiny booth. Got a way bigger booth this year. But it was just a good time, guys. It was such a good time meeting all you guys. We had like a line of people that, we finally put a face behind the voice. And it was just really, really good to meet everybody. And again, you just really don't realize how many people do what you do until you're there. You learn so much. It's definitely a no-brainer. Super excited to announce right now and today that we are actually giving away a trip to IAPA. That's right. We're giving away a trip to IAPA. We're going to be shooting out more information for that soon. We're partnering up with a bunch of vendors in the industry to send one person to IAPA. So look for that. We're going to be posting about it very, very soon here, as soon as I'm done with this webinar. But if you have not gone, you got to go at least once in your life. And once you go, it's like being in a candy store. Honestly, it's for anybody in this industry. It is mind blowing. It is so motivating. Love it, love it, love it. So we talked about investing in your education, right? Setting yourself up for a record-breaking year. The first thing you want to do is learn. The next thing you want to do is get in early with schools, churches, and summer camps. This is really, really important, guys. Too many of us, I see this all the time. It's May, it's June. See a post on Facebook. Hey, how do I get schools to rent from me? It's way too late, buddy. Way too late. This starts now. You want the schools and the churches and the summer camps to rent from you? You got to start strategizing now. This is where it starts. This is me and my brother. This is a few years ago. This is really how we got into schools. Every single letter is a letter that went out to schools, right? Schools are run by regular people. They'll see your Google ads. They'll see your Facebook ads. But we literally found every school in the area. We actually paid somebody on Fiverr, I think, to get us a list. But now there's directories. And we sent each and every one of them a signed letter. And I'll give you guys a copy of the letter at the end of this. How about that? So I'll share with you exactly my exact letter that I sent to these schools. This took us from having almost zero schools do business with us to tons of local schools literally blowing up our phones, asking to have us come and do their field days and things like that. So stick around till the end. I'll share with you guys exactly the letter that we send out. It works. It's super, super effective. It's all about strategy, but it starts now. So what I learned is, for me, January is when you want to send these letters out. If you're going to send these letters out on January, then you need to start way sooner than that, right? I'm talking December, you got the holidays. So November, you should already start working on it. You got to print the letters. You got to get the list of schools. You got to print the stickers. It's a lot of work. But once you do this, these schools will book with you over and over and over. The students will start booking with you. The teacher, it's very, very rewarding. But are you guys starting to see how this is going to help you get a lot farther than trying to get some weird winter gigs or trying to do a pumpkin patch? I hope you guys are seeing that. Can you imagine if just 10 schools in your area, only 10 that never worked with you before started working with you, just 10 schools? Can you guys imagine what that'd be like? It all starts now. It all starts with you starting to put in the work for that in the off season. This is the time, and that's why we're talking about this now. So I hope you guys see that. Stick around till the end. Again, I'll share with you guys my letter that I send out. Next thing is network. Network. Go out with your competitors, right? Talk shop. I know there's like the Chamber of Commerce. This is me and some of my competitors. This is Stacy. Awesome. Her husband, Steve. This guy was like my idol for the longest time. He's got the biggest company, multi-million-dollar company in the Chicagoland area. He was my goal, was to be like this guy. And one day he called me up and he's like, "Hey, I want to use EventHawk." I was like, "Oh my God, I've been trying to be you my whole life, and now you're asking me for help." It's crazy, but super, super cool guys. We just went out to lunch, strategized, and really talked about nothing for most of it. But it was just nice to talk to people. So this is the time to finally do that. Like I said, join your Chamber of Commerce. Go ahead and look into barter groups. I'm not really a fan of the whole barter system thing, but that's something that you can do. You can get everything in barter groups, man. It's crazy, like from vacations to plumbers to all kinds of stuff. But you could barter your services for like full price. You don't even have to just go, like you could a $300 bounce house in exchange for a night at some Airbnb or something. So it's pretty cool. So that was network. So we said learn, get in early with schools, network, do all the things you've been putting off. This is a big one, right? I don't know about you, but I have a mile long list of things I need to do that I never got to do. This is just some of it, right? Start working towards paying yourself. This would be my top priority if I'm not doing it. I was when at IAPA, I was expecting people to come up and talk to me about, Event Hawk. I cannot believe how many people walked up to me and said, Tariq, thank you for telling me about this whole Profit First book. It changed my life. We've never made so much money to our pocket. We're doing amazing things because of that. So I definitely recommend you start there. Start working on creating an awesome work culture for your employees, right? How do you hire good employees? How do you train them? How do you retain them? What can you do to make them happier? Now, we can all complain in the Facebook groups, but at the end of the day, it falls back on you, the business owner. How can you do that? How can you make that happen, right? Work on your branding, right? You said you wanted to wrap your trailer. When are you going to do that? You said you wanted to make those flyers or new business card, or get that get those yard signs, right? Time to get on that. Stop waiting. This is the time to actually make those things happen. Get new shirts, magnets, all that fun stuff that you said that you wanted to do that you never got to do. Get your paperwork in order. Read through your rental contract. Create an employee handbook. Evaluate last year's financials, right? We always talk about, a lot of us don't even know how we did last year. We know how much money we made. How much money did you net, right? What percent of your money went to payroll? What percent of your money went to gas? You should really know these numbers. Go back and look at that stuff. Insurance. Make sure your insurance is up to par. Whether it's workers' comp, liability, car insurance, you want to make sure that your business and your employees are covered. I heard recently, there was a spike in claims for people getting hurt on chairs, like they rent a chair from you and they get hurt. So, are you covered for that? I know Casio is great to talk about that. To talk to about that. Get cash to grow your inventory. This is a big one, and it's if you guys I did a video on this, which I'll share with you guys. I'm 100% against interest, right? There are ways to get money to grow your business interest free, just through you have to have some decent credit, but I have a video about that as well that I'll share with you guys. Get a booking software. A lot of you guys here have Wix or like GoDaddy or something like that. You've been putting it off. Get a legitimate booking software, guys. It makes all the difference in the world to work with somebody who understands your industry. This is the time to do that. Maybe you're not happy with your booking software, right? Maybe you're with somebody, and if you're considering switching to somebody who doesn't have as many restrictions or something like that. Now, granted, if you've been with, if you're happy, you're happy. But if you're considering trying something else, this is the time to do so. Update your packing lists, right? Your loading lists, customer checklists. I'll share some of that with you guys as well. I have a list for my guys, right? Every time a bounce house goes out, this is the stuff you need. No more forgetting dollies, right? How many people you have everything in the truck and you forget the dolly and you get the customer's house, you're like, oh shit, right? I know that's happened to you. Don't act like I'm the only one. But we have a list, right? I laminated it, I printed it, and before every truck leaves, we check. I go through the list with them. I mean, now they're a little more independent. Now they check each other. But how did we get there, right? We had to have these processes in place. We also have customer checklists. I have a checklist for my customer that we automatically text to them. You can do this through Event Hawk or IO Phone or something like that. After every booking, after they book, it says, thank you for your booking. Here's a list of things that we need you to go through to make sure that you have an awesome party, right? Don't cut your grass the day that we're setting up. I hate, it's not okay for me to pull up and my guys have to sit there and wait for you to finish cutting your grass. Or you got your lawn equipment all over the place, or dog poop. Not okay, right? We also go through on that same page, like our rain policy, cancellation policy, all that stuff. We have all these things ready, and we automatically, we build this stuff in the off season so that we can have a better in season. And join business roundtables. So we have in the Party Rental Bosses group, we have periodic roundtables, but in the Event Hawk members group, if you're a member, we do those more frequently. I know Jana does a great job of those. Start joining those, start taking notes. Literally decades of experience in those roundtables, just waiting to be shared. So definitely go ahead and jump into those. And lastly, and this is where I'm going to spend a little bit of time because this is my area, improve your online presence. Guys, we are in a digital world. This is the time to improve your online footprint. right? You don't need to be second or third or fourth anymore. This is when you work on it. While all your competitors are trying to make money in the off season, you work towards busy season, right? This is where you really want to get that stuff going. If you do this right, you'll have everything you need to maximize your party rental business growth. This is the most important thing. Everything else is almost negligent compared to your online footprint. Now, you're not going to be a millionaire your first year, right? Most of us, you know that, right? You're not getting into this saying, well, if I listen to Tariq, I'm going to be a millionaire my first year or second, whatever. But I want to show you guys what's possible, okay? I want you guys to meet Robert Tyler. Robert Tyler met us at IAPA. He started his business this year. He said, Jana and Tariq educated me. Only 5 months from our launch date, and we are almost at $1 million in sales. I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys. I think that might be a typo. I think last I checked, he was around $500,000 a few months ago. I don't know if he skyrocketed. He's in Georgia though, and you guys could look up Robert, great guy. But he started differently, right? We all start different. He started with 100 inflatables. He had money saved up. So, but you and I both know, just because you have the equipment doesn't mean it's all going to rent out. But he said, the staff at Event Hawk are second to none, and it's important to make the right decisions the first time around. It's more costly to find out you've made a mistake after the fact. This is a Facebook review that he left us. I like Facebook reviews because it's a real person. It's not like a fake Google account that somebody created. But this guy went all in. This guy pays us like over 30 grand a year, right? He just said, hey, what do I got to do to hit it out of the park? He just paid us to do everything for him, and we do his SEO, his Google ads, everything, right? So all this to say, it is possible to do amazing things if you're in good company. But we all start differently. I want to show you guys real quick where I started. This was my first, after we moved from our a garage, this was my storage unit. Pretty sad, right? This is what we started with. And we went from 1 storage unit to 2 to 3 to 8 storage units. This is the first time I'm sharing this, but this is actually what we started with, guys. No joke. These were my first units. I got these on Amazon. Non-commercial, residential blast zone units. This is a video that should play. But this was like a cleaning day. I don't know if it'll play. Should play. Give it a minute. But I'm not embarrassed. I used to rent these up for $60. I didn't know any better, right? I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know anything. I used to, this was me. I used to deliver in my scrubs. I worked at the hospital, my brother and I. This is my brother. We worked at the hospital together. Fortunately, he passed away recently. Very tragic. But we used to take shifts, right? I would work the night shift, and he would work in the morning, and then we'd switch off. And at the end of the year, we were always broke, right? I was frustrated and overwhelmed and tired of letting my family down, right? I was just unsatisfied with myself, promising my family every year that things were going to get better. I don't know if any of you guys can relate. There's no shame. You guys want to share it here in the comments, go ahead. If not, that's okay. But it's okay to be letting yourself down. You're here. You're doing something about it. But this was me for years. This is where I started. And I didn't have anybody. There weren't webinars like this at the time. Every year we'd make a ton of money, but we'd end up broke again. And I'd start multiple businesses, and then they'd fail. All of our money would go right back in, and I'd never be able to quit my job. And eventually I tried to get help, but was let down because really nobody knew what they were doing, in my opinion. So I decided to learn digital marketing for myself, and the rest is history. I spent all my money learning this stuff, all my time, and a few months later, we were able to triple our revenue, and I was able to quit my job. But all this to say, this is where I am now. This is where it took me like 7 years to get here. Okay, it's awesome. I have my storefront in an office space. Love that sign, by the way. Thank you, Jana. It was a gift from Jana. I have a warehouse. Look at that clean floor. You eat off it. That's what I tell my guys. I need to be able to eat off the floor. I'm super proud of this operation. We have an awesome team. Look at my team, guys. This is a preseason meeting at the left. Everybody's still in their jackets, right? It's a great feeling to where we started from. I'm the highest rated party rental company in my area. Nobody comes close. I'm not the largest, right? That's okay. I don't need to be the largest, but I'm the highest rated. I'm almost the highest priced. We have, and like these reviews, it's way more right now. There's an old screenshot, but we've done huge events for the Chicago Cubs, United States Post Office, CarMax, and more. We got into tents, dance floors, weddings. We did these festivals. This was our festival that we did. This is my warehouse right here, guys. This is the festival that I told you guys, that event that I did. the pay to play. It was a free pay to play. We charged the vendors. Look at the turnout. It was insane, right? We were like we are just, it's crazy. We got into photo booths. We even got our in-house DJ service at one point. And I don't know why these videos aren't playing, but it was a really cool DJ that we got. He had the crowd just jumping, man. It was crazy. We did school events. We did festivals. These are not my hard rides. These aren't my tents either, but it was a cool picture. But how did I do it, right? What I'm about to share with you guys is how I did it. Really, it came down to 3 things and 3 things only. I need everybody to write this down, right? This is where you're going to take notes. Whether you're using Event Hawk or not, this is what it comes down to. These are the 3 things that you need to succeed, to really blow it away in this business. I don't know if you're a lawyer or doctor, but in the party rental business, there's only 3 things you need. You ready? W. That's the first one. Just write down a big W. The second one, T. The third one, who can guess the third one? First one, W. Second one, T. What's the third one? Yes, you guys guessed it. F. WTF. That's all you need. Don't worry, I'm not cursing you guys out. WTF is an acronym. What does it stand for? W. This is really 90% of the success. 90% of your success will come from this, guys. I kid you not. You guys are gonna tell me, well, Tariq, what about this? What about that? That is all gonna like peanuts compared to what this will do for you. Maximize this. Maximize WTF, and I want you guys to remember this. WTF. Maximize it. And I put my name behind it. I guarantee everything else will be peanuts. W is for website. First thing you need is a website. A lot of you guys already have a website. Great. You got to think, even if you have a website, you got to think of your website as your cup. You want to fill up your cup. Too many of you guys have websites, but then you send people away from your website. You say, oh, go book on my Facebook page or go message me here. You don't want to fill up somebody else's cup. This is your business. It's yours. And I recommend Inflatable Office, Bounce. These are the 2 businesses, the 2 website providers who really get marketing. They allow you to use whatever payment processor you want, which helps you get more capital to grow your inventory. They don't confine you to a lot of stuff. Highly recommend these 2 great people. I've talked to them. They've even added features. They actually learn, right? They don't think they know it all. They actually implement some things based on some of my webinars to make their product better. Super proud of them. It's not hard to get a website. It doesn't take long, and it's not expensive. These guys, you get for like they'll build you the whole website for free. So all this to say, if you have GoDaddy or Wix, these guys will build you a professional looking website. You just got to pay like a monthly fee, very small for maintenance and support. Very, very important. Now, number 1 is website, but again, it's not just about having a website. You need to always use SEO, Google, social media. The purpose of all those things is to send people back to your website. If they come to your website, they play by your rules. They go to those other places. You don't make the rules there, right? Some of you guys had your Facebook accounts taken down. Imagine if you focused on Facebook Marketplace, if that was all your business, you'd be screwed, right? So this is why you need to focus on your website. That was W. T is for traffic. This is a big one, right? It gets a little more difficult. I have a website, Tariq. What's T? Traffic. You got to get customers to the door. Just because you have a website and it's in the middle of the desert, how do you get people to your website? There's a lot of different ways to get people to your website. Google ads, SEO, social media, word of mouth. There's so many different things you could do. What's the number 1 way? You guys already know. You guys are already going to tell me. Who knows? Who knows what's the most efficient, fastest, most effective way to get high quality customers to your website? 100%. Google ads. Great job. Google ads. Google ads is king. The one thing you need to really hit it out of the park is Google ads. Google ads is the fastest, most effective, and most affordable way to get high quality traffic to your website. You only pay when somebody clicks with Google ads. A lot of you guys are scared. Well, Tariq, I don't want to pay for Google ads. I'd rather do Marketplace. It's free. Or you only pay when somebody clicks. Can you just take a minute? How cool would that be? Can you think of any other marketing? On Facebook, when you boost a post, you pay every time somebody sees your post. Even if they don't even stop, they just keep scrolling. It's crazy. Your clicks can be under $1, and you could set up the location of your ads. So you could say, okay, I want to have these ads only show up like where the big mansions are. And you get the high quality people, not the people looking for $50 bounce house rentals. It's not hard. It doesn't take long, and it's not expensive if you know what you're doing. But it's not just Google Ads is something that you should have running all year long. You should really your goal should be to hire somebody to do your Google Ads, because if it's done right, you'll do amazing, right? But even if you're just starting out on your own, a lot of people say, well, Tariq, it's the off season. I'm going to shut off my Google Ads. Why? This is when you need every time somebody searches for something, you're going to show up at the top, whether it's 5 people searching a month or 5,000. Your Google Ads should run all year long, in my opinion, because you only pay when somebody clicks. So, and for a click that's 50 cents or $1, you could get a $200-$300 order. Why not? But during the off season is when you could focus on some of these other things. Your SEO, right? Your social media. Make a plan for that. This is the best time to work on your SEO, right? Because whatever you do for SEO today, you're not going to see the results for a few months possibly. So if you work on your SEO correctly now, by the time the results kick in, by the time March kicks in, you could start seeing some of those results. And then your social media strategy. I mean, I don't expect you to go crazy on social media in the off season, but you should have a strategy, right? This is where the world is moving. TikTok, Instagram. We have, with our social media bootcamp, we talk about that. You need to have a plan for that. You need to be able to get your team involved. I know Jana was saying she had a TikTok competition for her guys. They're all on TikTok anyway. She just had them send her TikToks of the bounce houses when they're doing setups, and she just had them do all the work for her. All she had to do was click post, right? You could do that. You can add your guys as managers on your Facebook and Instagram and just have them go live at some of the setups or just take pictures. You just need some kind of activity. So that's traffic. So you got a website, you got traffic. The last one is the big one, the one that really confuses most people, and that's funnels. WTF, website traffic funnels. Funnels are the evolution of websites. Funnels is how you turn clicks into paid bookings, and it's how you significantly increase your sales. Now, EventHawk offers the pre-made funnels. That's why it works so well, because it's for party rental businesses. It works. I'll show you guys a real life example. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but this is EventHawk in a nutshell. This is why you need it. So if I'm a customer and I go to your website and I say, okay, I want to rent a bounce house, and I go to bounce houses, and I say, okay, this bounce house looks cool. Holy crap, $395. That's a lot. But okay, let me see what's going on. Forget this pop-up. I see this, and I'm like, okay, this is a cool bounce house, but how big is it? Okay, 13 by 28. Okay, but how many kids can it fit? Do you deliver to me, or do I got to come pick it up? Is there a delivery fee? How long do I get to get? I have all these questions. I like it. I'm trying to justify this cost in my head, but you're just telling me, Tariq, don't worry about it. Just click add to cart. I'm like, listen, I don't even know you, man, and you're just telling me, don't worry about it, add to cart. And I'm like, yeah, but, is there water? Is it a water slide? How big is this thing really? And you're like, don't worry, just add to cart. So I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. I can't do that right now. So I go scroll down looking for something else to do. I scroll up. This is literally what happens on your website every single day, guys. People do this all day. They look here, they scroll down, they scroll up, they scroll down, they scroll up, and they leave. Why do they do this? And there's a software that'll actually show you people on your website. And they do this because you've trapped them and you've given them only one option, which is add to cart. And they like it, but they're just not ready. I mean, when was the last time you went to a website and clicked add to cart for a $400, $300, $200 product? I mean, unless it's Amazon, right? Amazon's another story, but we trust them. These people don't know you, right? When was the last time you went to a website the first time? You've never visited this website before, never heard of them, and they said, okay, $200 for this awesome product. You're like, all right, bet, let's do it, deal. Now you're like, I got to talk to my wife, got to look up the reviews, I got to compare prices, read up on them, and then you say, okay, maybe I might come back, and 9 times out of 10 you forget about them, or you forget what was the name of their business, and you go somewhere else and you book there by accident. So look what happens when you have a funnel. Funnel does this. Boom. It gives them another choice. Hey, listen, we don't want your money. We don't want anything from you. We want to give you something, right? Law of rep, saying, hey, I don't want money from you. I want to give you something. Instead of asking them for a big commitment, you're asking them for a small commitment. You're giving them something, and it's exciting. There's some incentive here. There's no incentive here. There's no, I've been to 5 websites, you and your competitors, and you're all telling me add to cart. Nothing exciting about that, right? But here you are giving me something. There's some incentive there. Yeah, I want the coupon, right? And I click here, and I said, okay, well, before we give you the coupon, we just need your information, right? Because here's the fact. 95% of people or more leave your website and never come back. If you can at least collect their information before they leave, you have a chance of following up with them. right? If you use Event Hawk texts them within minutes and gets them to come back to your website and helps them book. Even if you don't, just having their information, you can remarket to them in the future, right? Like the holidays, perfect example. Say, hey, you didn't book with me earlier in the year, but guess what? I got this cool Christmas themed bounce house. You should check it out. So that's what Event Hawk does. It gives them a second option. You tell me what are you more likely to click? Add to cart or get coupon. And now a lot of you guys are like, well, Tariq, your pop-ups are annoying, and I get that. That's totally fine. These are fully customizable. You can customize the way they look. You can customize how often they show up, whether you can make them big, small. I don't recommend you do any of that because it works. And if you've seen like Jana's pop-up, it looks way nicer than mine, but mine works. I'm a man of numbers. If something makes me money, I don't care how it looks. I don't really care. I mean, I study the numbers, and this is Jana's website. Look at her pop-up. Makes me want to like vomit from all the colors. If it'll come up right now. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. I mean, look at that. That is like it just says fun, right? And Jana tells me, Tariq, why don't you make your pop-up more like mine? Mine has been making me money for like 3 years now. I don't want to touch it. It's doing great, right? I want to keep it like this. But yes, you can make it more bigger, small. You could totally adjust it. And then the whole thing about, well, Tariq, I don't want to offer my customers discounts. I don't want to lower my prices. You don't have to lower your price. Look what I'm charging, guys. I increase my prices just so I can offer a discount. And who else does this? Let's look at Nike, Nike.com. These are the businesses that use funnels every single day. Save up to 50%. Why would they do that? Do they hate money? Why is Nike doing this? Right? Let's look at Target. Right when you get there, up to 50% off. Like, why are they doing this? They hate money? No, it's a funnel. They want to get you in the door. They know that when you click this, they're going to say, hey, subscribe to our list, join. They slowly get you there, and because they know that if they just ask you for money, you're going to leave, right? Even Apple is doing this. I mean, it's Apple TV, right? Apple has no problem selling their iPhones, but Apple TV is not kicking off. So look what they say, 7 days free. I mean, that's not really much, but why is Apple giving away free stuff? Are you better than Apple? Is Apple stupid? It's called a funnel, right? They're giving you something for free in exchange for, giving you the warm and fuzzy in exchange to get your foot in the door, so they can have your information, so they can email you, maybe call you, maybe text you. So that's what Event Hawk does. So that's a little demo of Event Hawk. Event Hawk will then text them. Sorry, I forgot the most important part. After they give you their information, it'll text them 5 minutes later and be like, hey, what's up? What's up, Sarah? You were just on our website looking at bounce houses. When's your party? Let me see if I have something available. And Sarah, we get up to 90% of people that text back within minutes like, oh my God, Tariq, thank you for messaging me. Yes, my son's birthday party is coming up. I wasn't sure if this theme was right or if you had this available or if you delivered to my area. And it just like we start the conversation through text. We're able to book them. And it's way more effective than email or phone call because people just don't want to do that anymore. But if you don't have Event Hawk, I mean, you're just really, really missing out. Every single day without it is just really, you don't need Event Hawk. You create your own funnels, but it's pre-made for the part of your own business, right? And the best part is Google reviews. We have a system built into Event Hawk that'll also send out reviews. I mean, these are older, but look at these reviews. I mean, these are people who really had almost no reviews or struggled to get any reviews at all before this. Can you imagine what it would feel like if you had this many reviews? It took me 4 years to get to 70, and then I started using Event Hawk, and within like 4 months, I went to 230. I know Jana started with, it took her 9 years to get to like 130, and then within a year of using Event Hawk, she hit 569. It works. I mean, it's not magic. It just works. It's not hard. We do the setup for you. It doesn't take long. We usually have you live within like a day, and it's not expensive. I mean, it's really less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day. So if you're not able to justify that cost, then I really think you need to reconsider your priorities. So that's pretty much 3 out of 4, right? We did 3. We're going to jump into number 4. I know you guys are all like probably feeling like this right now. It's a lot. Before we jump into the last point, which is winter gigs, right? What can you do in the wintertime to make money? I don't know who's interested in really learning how to implement everything we just, like I shared a bunch of knowledge with you guys, but if you guys are interested in actually implementing this stuff this off season, who would be interested in that? I have a package that I put together. I want to see if you guys are interested, if anybody's interested in me sharing that with you guys. My little sales pitch here, I'll tell you guys what it includes and how much it costs. Anybody interested in that? Who'd be interested in learning about that? All right, I'm getting some people. Thank you. Okay, I won't take long. I promise. We're gonna get right back to it. But okay, so I call this my off-season survival kit. Okay, this is the off-season survival kit, and here's what it includes. Um, and just real quick about the price, I had two choices. First of all, I could have went super cheap, gave it away for free, but really, I don't want to do that. I don't want you guys don't want free, right? You don't want the $50 bounce house guy of marketing. You don't want somebody who's just gonna like for $50 or like for peanuts. I'm not really going to be incentivized to help you, right? Because I have, I have this is business for me too. Second option requires a little higher investment on your end, but in exchange, me and my team put more time to help and guarantee your success, right? And everything I do comes with a guarantee. I mean, I believe that I don't deserve your money if I can't help you make money. So here's what it includes. First thing is a year of Event Hawk, and you guys know what we charge for Event Hawk, but just to put this in perspective, if you guys were to go out and try to do this whole Event Hawk thing on your own, it would cost you at least $495 a month in subscriptions and stuff, at least. So let me show you guys just what Event Hawk comes with: the pop-ups, the lead generation, automated text messages while your customers shop, one CRM where you can manage your text messages, Facebook messages, Instagram messages, emails, and even phone calls, and unmatched support. I mean, my team and we have your back. Here are just some reviews on Event Hawk. The second day, I got 4 bookings. They keep pouring in. It is to the point where I'm selling out every single weekend. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so happy to say that I'll be cutting back on my part-time job or completely quitting way sooner than I planned because Event Hawk has helped me grow my business so quickly. My dream of quitting my dreaded 9-to-5 office job is coming true before my very eyes. It really works. Wow. Just wow. Can you guys, I mean, first of all, Lisa, I don't know if you're watching this. Thank you for the review, but this is awesome for Lisa, right? I mean, how awesome. I know you guys are like, well, that's cool for Lisa, but that'll never be me. I guarantee you, Lisa said the same thing. She said this, when she first heard about this, she said, well, it's great. This works for everybody else. This will never work for me. You can't, if it could work for her, can you imagine what this would be like if you were able to quit your job, if you were able to see these results? I mean, how awesome would that be? Wouldn't that be great? Nick Glass, you guys know Nick, with Event Hawk for about a month now. Last 2 weekends in March were busier than July. Can you guys imagine what it'd be like to have a March that's busier than July? Thank you, Nick, for the testimonial. Nelson, I feel like my website is on steroids with all this business coming in. First 2 days I joined Event Hawk, boom, had 12 bookings without even talking to a customer on the phone. Yes, great point. Forgot to mention that. When you get Event Hawk, you get less phone. People want to text you, right? You start texting people instead of calling. I love that. It's a lot easier, less stressful, and doesn't cost me more payroll to have text. Like I can text more people than I can call. So, and then Rich said, I'm now having my 3rd consecutive month this year that are all busier than my busiest months last year. Customer interactions occupy less of my time. The only regret you will have is not doing it sooner. Thank you, Rich. Not only that, not only are you going to love Event Hawk, your customers love Event Hawk too. Look at this. Hope said, a lot of my customers say they're so glad I messaged because they had questions and it made it super easy for them to ask. Curious, for you Event Hawk members watching here, how many people have gotten a review, that a 5-star Google review that mentioned Event Hawk or mentioned the texting or mentioned, wow, they texted me, they were super responsive? How many people have had that? Super curious. I know I've gotten a ton of reviews where people actually mention, wow, I love that I was able to text them to book. I love how fast they got back to me. I've called 3 companies and they're the only one that got back to me. It's super, super effective. We've got a lot of reviews. Customers are happy with the personalized service. Now they can ask any possible question knowing that they're going to get almost an answer instantly. Customers just love the functionality. Many have given 5-star reviews due to the ease of working with us. We are in our 3rd year of business and have already passed our sales from last year, and it's only May. Can you imagine making more money than last year by May? Boom. Love it. Definitely a game changer for you and your customers. Most people would rather text than talk nowadays. So that's the first thing you get as part of the off-season success kit or survival kit, a year of Event Hawk. That's worth $495 a month. Again, if you were to do all this stuff on your own. The next thing is the review requests. That's built in. For those of you guys who've been using Event Hawk, you guys know how this works. Again, all these reviews came from that setup that's within there. In 4 years, we were hard-pressed to receive 32 reviews. And then in 3 months of using Event Hawk, we now have 112 reviews. Not surprised. Congratulations to Aaron. Michael Grant said, we finally ended the year with triple our sales and over 100 reviews. You're going to see this triple, double sales. You're going to see that theme come up a lot, guys. Joseph said, we had 40 reviews in 3 years, and I'm now at 64, and I've only been using them for 2 months. Amazing. Jonathan said, we went from 26 reviews in 5 years to 226 reviews in our 6th year. Can you imagine what it'd be like to, like, what is that, like 800% increase in reviews? So that system alone, if you were to just go out and look for a system that helps you with the reviews, they have, they're like $99 a month. There's one called Bird Eye is what I kind of set up. I tried Bird Eye. It sucked, honestly. But that alone is just for that, you're saving $99 a month. Next, Party Rental Marketing Bootcamp. This is my pride and joy, guy. I mean, this is in addition to the books. Again, I've showed you guys this. I'm going to be giving you guys this free as part of this package. You don't have to pay a penny. You don't have to pay the $9.97. It's included. This is what includes the booking bootcamp, the Google Ads bootcamp, the website audit bootcamp, SEO bootcamp, and all this bonus stuff, all included free. Over 10 hours of content. It's going to all be included in there. Again, this is designed to save you $3,000 a month. If you were just starting out, a lot of us would never pay that, right? I don't expect you to pay $3,000 a month, but you can get the results as if you paid a marketing company $3,000 a month. I've been there. I've paid that much, and it's you don't get those kind of results. Trust me. Text message support from experienced party rental business owners all year long. This is huge, guys. This to me is priceless, but if I had to put a price on it, if I had to bill for this, I would charge at least $100 a month for this. You can text in and ask. I mean, our team has over 70 years in combined party rental business experience between Jana, me, and everybody else on our team. You could text us to ask any question you want, and we'll do our best to help. If you ever, I don't know, if you ever had just that one question, right? If someone just answered, you'd be unstuck big time. Like, man, Facebook is great. All this stuff is great, but I just wish I could just talk to someone. I just wish I had a lifeline, right? To where you could just text in and be like, I really don't know how to do this. Or I got this generator and I don't know why it's making this noise. Or which dolly, what do you think is better? You need a lifeline sometimes. And that's what we are for our clients. And to me, that's worth, to me, again, it's price. I wish I would have killed for something like this. And Facebook is great, don't get me wrong, but with this, you actually have an experienced team that's you can actually hold accountable. We are your lifeline, but during business hours, we do have people that text us on weekends and 1 a.m. and they're like, oh, how come you guys aren't responding? So full disclosure, we have lives too. These are 2 reviews we got recently. These are from people who've been with Event Hawk literally for a day or 2. Kevin said, Event Hawk is very attentive and professional, very helpful in our business. Nothing special about this review, right? Except the word attentive. This means a lot to me. So kudos to the team. Just knowing that my team is attentive. This is not a word where you say, oh, great job. I love Event Hawk. Yes, 5 stars. Highly recommend. He went out of his way to say the word attentive. And that means a lot to me. That really hit me because that's what we strive. We strive to really pay attention, to be attentive, to actually care about your business. And that to me, I hope you guys see the value in having somebody be attentive to your business. Nick said the same thing. He said the staff are super responsive, which is huge. How many people here have been contacting vendors or mentors and you don't get a response for a week or 2 or a month? No comment. A lot of that going on in this industry. We're super responsive, right? We're usually getting back to you in less than an hour. They truly go above and beyond and help the business thrive. Very easy to justify the nominal fee, even for a small timer like me. And then we have the Facebook community. Our Facebook group is not like any other Facebook group. We have very welcoming, no bullying in our group, mentorship, live roundtables. We have deals and giveaways. And this is just some reviews. Weekly and sometimes daily videos have helped my business grow, providing me with the knowledge I didn't even know I needed. Very few companies prioritize customer service as well as Event Hawk. Steven says, so much valuable information between the online videos and live meets. Joshua, I'm just rushing through these. They have the best members on their team. Everyone at Event Hawk wants to see you succeed. Thank you, Josh. And then last but not least is the playbooks. This is my pride and joy, guys. I know 10 hours of videos, sometimes you just want to flip through a book and find an answer to something or get a resource fast. That's what these are. These are in final stages of publishing, and they should be ready next week. So you guys get a free copy of all these. And again, they're in digital version now, but who knows, one day. But you will get a free digital copy of every single one of these These are just loads. This is my life. This is literally, if I had to describe these books, I would say a decade in days. This is almost a decade of experience in these books here that you guys get within just a day, in just a few hours, right? Decades and days. It's really, really, really powerful. So I highly recommend you guys take advantage of that. So all that comes out to $36.94 per month as a value for all this. Now, you know, and I know I'm not here to charge you $3,600. We don't, that's not what we do here. I think it's worth it 100%. I mean, for $3,600 to be able to get the results that Robert got, to be able to hit almost $1 million your first year, no brainer, right? But we're not even charging $1,000 a month. But I do want to ask, if all this did was help you finally grow your business to the point where you could do the things you always wanted to do, would it be worth that $3,600? Absolutely. I think it would. I mean, time is money. Or if it could help you spend more time with your family and friends, 100%, right? If you're making the money and you could justify the cost, it's totally worth it. Or if it could help you quit your job and don't have to work for anyone else ever again, 100% would be worth it. And if it helped you stop working in your business like an employee and on your business like a boss, I'll tell you guys, my business runs whether I'm there or not. You guys know, unfortunately, my brother passed away recently, and very tragic, very difficult, but I was away and my business ran. My business did not stop. And that's what I want to help you guys do. So 100%, that cost is 100% worth it to me. I hope you guys are as invested as I am in my business, in your business, to know that it is worth this much. But that's not what we're charging. We're not charging the $3,600 a year or $3,600 a month. All we're charging for the off-season survival kit is $970 a year today. That's it. I mean, you do the math. It's literally less than a cup of coffee. I mean, that's peanuts. And you get, again, you get the Event Hawk for a year, review requests for a year, or the review request system, Party Rental Marketing Bootcamp, the text message support, private Facebook community, and all 4 books with a 30-day money-back guarantee, all for $970 a year. That's it. I'll put the link in the comments for anybody who's interested. I thank you guys for allowing me to share this with you guys. So let me do that before we Party Rental. Sorry. Share that on the Zoom as well. I know you guys have a lot of questions. I will take them in a sec here. So I just put the link in the Facebook chat and the Zoom chat. And again, it does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if for any reason you're not happy, and whether it's 29 days or 23 hours, we'll give you your money back. We didn't get to where we are today by working with unsatisfied people. Bonuses. Anybody who signs up, first 10 are going to get a free hat. That's first bonus. You guys see the hat I'm wearing, or I don't know if you guys see them on Facebook. We got a ton of colors. They're super cool. These are available to buy. But that's the first bonus if you're one of the first 10. I see some of you guys are signing up already. Thank you for putting your trust in us. We appreciate it. IAPA, you're going to get a bonus entry into that IAPA trip. And last but not least, a 30-minute strategy session with none other than our own Jana Thompson to help you with your business. Remember this guy, Robert Tyler? That's how he started, talking to her and me, but mostly Jana. This is how he got to where he is today. Now, granted, he, again, it started a little bit larger than you guys or than most of us, but he put 100% of his trust in us. He didn't just, take what we tell him and just say, I just want to do it my way. So if you want to be like Robert, and I don't care if you make, 20% of what he made that first year, that's still awesome. You guys have 2 choices. First option, do nothing, right? You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to take this leap of faith. Second option, pony up the small investment. Again, less than the cost of a cup of coffee compared to all the value that you're getting. And within 30 days, if you don't make your money back, then it's risk-free. You just get a refund. Again, like I always say, if I can't help you make money, then I don't deserve your money. I know a bunch of you guys have questions. Big first question we get is, can I pay this monthly? There is this PayPal credit thing where you guys can get like 6 months, no interest. You can check that. But what I would do, honestly, like I tell people, put it on a credit card. And if you don't make enough to pay it off before the statement ends, before that payment is due, then just cancel and we'll give you a refund. And it's like nothing happened. So that's what I would recommend. But we get a lot of people, like Event Hawk has paid it for itself for 5 years the first month. I'm confident that you will make tons of money with this. I have no question. That's how I put my money behind this. So I know I promised you guys a free gift. we're going to jump into the Zoom here to answer more questions and go through the rest of the off-season stuff and go through the fourth point. But to get my list of key ingredients to grow your bounce house business fast and to get all the links in this presentation, go ahead and text the word survive over. Just take a screenshot if you don't want to get off this Zoom or get off this Facebook. Just take a screenshot of this, and afterwards just text the word survive to our phone number, and we will send you that kit. So let's do this. So I'm going to share the Zoom link, and I will see you guys on Zoom. Here's what we'll do. We'll go into the Zoom room, and we'll open up 2 rooms. And one room will be to talk more about off-season stuff, and another room will be to talk about some of this stuff or whatever questions you guys have. And you could jump around between rooms, no problem. So join us on Zoom here. Okay, so I just shared the Zoom link. I'll keep the live stream going as well. And Jana, I don't know if you're on a Zoom, if you want to go ahead and hop on.
I'm here.
All right. Can we do the breakout room now, or is it too late? How does that work?
Yeah, we should be able to.
All right. Are you doing it, or am I doing it?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
I can do it, or you can.
Okay. All right. I'm going to jump into my final slide here. And Jana, I should probably, so the fourth point that we talked about. So we talked about the first 3 points. The fourth point was starting a winter gig. Okay. And this is not what I wanted. I tried this, and this is where, we're going to open it up to you guys, but starting something new in the winter. I'll tell you guys, I've done this presentation before, and we've gotten a bunch of ideas from people. So that's what we're going to share with you guys. And we'll kind of brainstorm what works, what doesn't. So if you haven't already, join us on Zoom, and I'm going to put up a list. Here's a list of winter gigs that we've collected over the years from people. Some of them I've tried, others just people have said have worked. So Jana, I'm going to share this with you here on Facebook, and you can, if you need it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For those of you guys on the Zoom, for those of you guys who would like to, let's see, we already sharing screen. For those of you guys who'd like to talk more about the off-season survival kit, just have questions about marketing in general. Sorry, let me just mute whoever that is. All right, for those of you guys who want to go ahead and jump in to learn more about marketing, go ahead and raise your hand, and Jana will move you over into the breakout room with me. And then Jana is going to be here talking to you guys, for those of you guys who want to continue the conversation about off-season. So breakout rooms. Okay, I'm going to start with, I know it's Tony Castle and Stacy Chase here. I know you guys have been really patient. And Nick Glassett. Who's here?
I'm here.
Hey, Stacy. Thought I saw your name. All right, Stacy, I'm going to turn it around to you first. Stacy Chase. Stacy's been in the industry like 30 years. Is that right? Or more?
Or more.
Or more, okay. So Stacy has gone through the brutal winters in Chicago. I'm sure you've done everything in the off season, from balloon twisting to God knows what. So I'll let you kind of kick off some of the things that you've done. And guys, we do have a lot of people, but feel free to just unmute yourself, ask questions. If it gets a little crazy, then we'll kind of have people raise their hands. But go ahead, Stacy. Anybody who's interested in or has questions about the off-season success kit, I'm going to go ahead and pull you into. Just raise your hand or put it in the chat. It's better if you raise your hand because there's a lot of stuff in the chat. There's like a little raise hand button at the bottom, and then I'll pull you into a breakout room and I can answer some of those questions. The floor is yours, Stacy.
Well, I have done a lot of different things, but I guess I should start by making sure that everybody realizes that my background is not just in inflatables. I really actually started in entertainment. So entertainment, decor, then we grew into inflatables, and then we grew into tents and rentables. So I cover a very broad span of talent to pull from things for the winter. So there is literally a winter mode that we're headed headlong into it right now. For our particular company, for our business model, at this point is when we start talking about like, what are we going to do? The Halloween things are coming up, and we're pushing our marketing towards, our traditional Christmas clients. This year, coming back out of COVID, Santa's hotter than ever. I already have, a good ton of bookings already sitting there. We're currently revamping our specialty site that has to do with Santas so that people can actually go on, find their Santa, pick their Santa, et cetera, et cetera. But that's a huge source of revenue for me. But I'm very picky. I costume my Santas. I pay for their outfits. I make sure they have real wigs and hair, that are real hair. I don't just have the $12 beard and the $20 costume. So when we put it out there, the look is consistent. The guys are consistent. They're all actors. They're all trained. They've gone to Santa school, or they're just a genuinely happy old man. So there is a quality of product situation that I deal with there that I make sure that I have a quality control check on. You put a good product out and you can charge more for it. There's a lot of $50 Facebook Santas, but they're not going to always be your great Santa. So if you have the resources within your network to look into that, I'd be more than happy to share where to get the great costumes, where to get the great wigs, et cetera, et cetera. Anybody who wants, the information on that. But that is a good source of income for us. Pre-COVID, we did over $70,000 in December on Christmas alone. Coming out of COVID, we're now it's full on, like, here is your set. Here's your backdrop. Here's your throne chair. Here's your Santa. Here's your photo booth that goes with it. The entire thing is an entire industry.
Hey guys, you guys hear me? See me? Sorry, that was a bit of a mess. A lot of people.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys. All right, so welcome. Thank you guys for sticking around that presentation. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much, but you stuck around. I know it's late. So why don't we, you guys can just go ahead and unmute, ask your questions. Not a lot of us, so we should be fine. Or I can call names. You guys are shy. Kayla.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if the kit, is that to also be a member of Event Hawk, or is that just for the survival kit?
Man, I must have did a terrible job. Does anybody know the answer to that? I thought I made that clear, so I'm sure that's not good. So the first thing is you get a year of Event Hawk, right? So that was the first thing you get. Let me share my screen here. Sorry.
Okay, I did see that per year, and then I was just a little confused. I did jump on like 20 minutes late too. So
I think you jumped off perfect time because it wasn't working. I don't know. Facebook went down for us, unfortunately. I think we lost a lot of people,
okay.
But it is what it is. So where is it? Everything you get. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Oh, okay. Number 1, Event Hawk.
Yeah. So you get a year of Event Hawk that's included for that. Let's see. This might be a little more clear. So yeah, you get a year of Event Hawk that's included, and everything else. Pretty much a year of everything is included in that.
Okay. And that was my main question. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you sticking around so late.
Of course.
All right, next question. And guys, I mean, there's not a lot of us, so if there's any questions that I can help with, I'm happy. I don't know everything. I never claim to be, but I definitely value people who want to learn, and the fact that you guys are here. If there's anything that you guys need help with your business that I can offer some input on, I'm happy to do that. Dustin, any questions about the presentation, the offer?
Yeah, is the 970 a year, is that your normal price or is that like a discounted price?
So the normal price is actually on our website, and it's like 147 a month. So it's definitely a discounted price. It's not our regular price. So if you go to our website for, and it doesn't really include everything that we mentioned even today. This is pretty new, but let's see what that looks like. Sometimes I go to my website and I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know it says that. So if you go to our website and then you go to pricing, so that would be this right here, the 147 a month. That's what that would
Okay.
be. So if you do that math, you end up pretty much getting like 5 months free when you do the offer that we have today. And I think we did just put it up here. So that is what that is. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and then I guess kind of a follow-up question. Yeah, I'm definitely considering it, but I guess my question to you is, currently my inventory is just two inflatables. So, you feel like you would be beneficial to me at your price point at this point in time?
That's a great question. That's a decision you need to make. If you're asking me, we've helped people start out with one inflatable, two inflatables. I think we even have some reviews of people who have three inflatables. Um,
I had
but
4 and I took over on it, and now I have 21 within 3 months. So
awesome.
Okay,
I guess it's all what you
yeah.
do with it.
Yeah,
Okay,
honestly,
then definitely.
it comes down to how bad you. I know it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, if you get the $10 gym membership and you don't really use it, you're not really. But if you kind of go all in, you get the protein shakes and you pump yourself up. You're more likely to really make the most of it. Um, Honestly, I find that a lot of people don't believe in this, or don't believe in themselves, don't believe that this could turn into their career. Like they see this starts as a side gig for all of us, myself included. But then when you see that this can become really, like I said, for me, I worked 2 3 jobs and I did this and it was terrible. But this industry is honestly like a unicorn. For me, what I find, there's no other industry where you can get in for so little and make so much. And you could scale very, very fast. And you're renting this stuff out. It's not like you're replenishing, like you're selling stuff, and you have to constantly go ahead and refill your inventory. So if you're asking me, I 100% believe that this will be beneficial to you. I know I have a review from somebody who started out here. Let me share. I'll go through some questions here as we. So this one, I'm just starting out. Will this work for my business? We've only had Event Hawk for 3 months or so, and we're a newer company out of Northwest Indiana. We have booked over half of our total bookings last year. This is a review that's on our website. So Northwest Indiana too. Where are you located?
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah.
Actually, Western Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm about 20 minutes from the Indiana border, actually.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there. But again, I'm telling you, I'm in Chicago, so not our weather's similar to yours. We used to struggle a lot, but after following, if you follow everything that we teach, I kid you not, I close down 6 months out of the year. Unlike most, I literally, my website, if you go to my website after October, it says we're closed until spring. We make enough money in the summer in Chicago to where we strategize, we save up, in a way to where I can take 6 months off, I can travel, I can spend time with my family. Of course, I'm an idiot. I started Event Hawk, so now I work more than ever in the winter. But I never get a break. But that's what I enjoy. I enjoy doing what we're doing right now, talking to you guys. So that's what I love. But this one here, Aqua Air and Water Slide said we were almost ready to throw in the towel when we were just getting started, and now they're already getting 4 times the customers that they were getting. And he says it best here. We work our tails off to have clean, sanitized, nice looking units. The best part of Event Hawk is now we're rarely being asked to discount because from social media negotiators looking for cheap stuff. Michael said, I had 2 birthday parties last year. After using Event Hawk, I have parties lined up for the next 7 months. We only have 3 units, Sarah said. And we're already seeing the benefits of using Event Hawk. It really is for businesses of all sizes and grabs the customers who would have just left and not booked. Now, I do have some input for you in one of my ebooks. The website two of my ebooks, we talk about this. If you have 2 units, and you just put those 2 on your website, you're going to struggle. I talk about a strategy that I recommend, which is you need at least 9 units. You need at least 9. And you don't have to have all 9, but we all know which 9 you want, right? So you just put them on your website and you use like Inflatable Office or BCN, you mark them as unavailable. And then it looks, instead of it looking like you only have 2 units, it looks like you have 9 units, but only 2 are available. You get how that works?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely. I feel like a lot of people come to the site and they only see a couple of units, and it's kind of off-putting. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that would probably be something that would benefit us to, adjust the website in that way.
100%. I mean, it's really just because they look, people look at 3-4 websites and then they come to yours, and your last competitor has 90, and if you have 2, it's like, oh, is this guy even in business? Is he just starting? Like, it just kind of, they're weary. But if you have at least like 3 rows, I like to have at least 3 rows, right? That's what whenever I work with people, I say, listen, I need you to have 3 rows, right? 3, 3, 3. And it's not like it's unethical. It's stuff you want to buy anyways. But the other cool part about it is, a lot of us can't afford to go out and buy 9 units tomorrow. So you want to buy the units that make you the most money. So what you do is you start getting phone calls for some of those units that you don't have. And the ones that you get the most phone calls for, those are the ones you want to get next, right? Because you're getting a lot of people ask about that. Let's see what other questions we have. This is a big one when people start out. It says, it asks for a textable number. We do everything through text. So for those of you guys signing up, you definitely want to go ahead and enter a textable phone number. Don't enter like your business line, because we do text to your password, etc. What if I have questions or need help? Like I said, our support team is second to none. No matter how many times I ask the same question, they always answer with grace without making me feel like a complete idiot. This review made my day. That's what we do, guys. I mean, I don't know if she's here today, but no stupid question. It's hard. It's hard doing this. So any questions? I can keep going through my list of questions.
Is this like actually getting an event on? Because I don't know if I have access to like the boot camp and all that, since I just paid. I think it was like a month or 2 ago. I paid the $970 or something about the whole year.
Just text.
Is this something different?
Yes, it is different. This is a new package that we've just launched. If you've already got text in. And we'll work something out for you. Just text in, say you need access to this stuff, and we can give it access to you. We'll add it in for you.
Once we pay for it, like the videos and stuff, I guess we'll just have them for good. Because this is stuff that I want to be able to have. I know you have the videos individually throughout, but I want to kind of get them in the books as well. So yeah, I'll send a text in about those.
Yeah, it's as long as you're a member, you have access to that stuff, and it's not like a bunch of YouTube videos. YouTube is great. Don't get me wrong. I got a ton of YouTube videos, but it's this is more than that. This is an actual course with notes, and you can my favorite part about it is you can speed it up and slow it down or rewind. It's different.
Because I know you got the lives, but the lives are hard to thumb through, especially with my partner. I mean, he wants like those videos, like you're saying, like boot camp videos.
Yep.
And you say you're going to share the letter you send out for the schools and stuff?
Yeah. Did you text the word survive? Just text the word survive over to support. You'll get that. You'll get that link. Everything I put. That's all I've been working on all day. Is getting. I'm like, man, everything I talk about so many things in these presentations, and then I get 1,500 messages. So I'm like, this time let me be proactive. Let me get them all in a document. So I set it up so that, and this is something you can do with EventHawk too, for those of you guys who aren't using EventHawk. But when you text in the word survive, I built in an automation so that if somebody texts in the word survive, send them this document or this page. So what you guys can do for your business one day is when you guys on your flyers and on your yard signs, text the word party to get, exclusive package or something like that. And this generates leads. Like I think that's a great option for your yard signs that you put up on customers' lawns next to the bounce house. Because you could put your logo, right? And people are like, oh, that's nice. They'll take a picture and they'll probably forget about it. But what if you could have every Saturday moms come up to the lawn sign that you have next to the bounce house and say, oh, it says text the word party to get, a special offer. And what I would do is I would send that, like when they text the word party, I would send them to the coupon forms because we need their name. We don't really want to give anybody anything for free without their name, email, phone number. So that's what I would do. I would send them straight to that form page and say, enter your info to get our special, offer. And this way you have them as a lead. So that's just a side note of something you could do.
Why not put a QC code on the yard sign? Couldn't you it automatically bring them to like a form like that?
100%. 100%. Yep.
So speaking of, sorry, go ahead, Kate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to. I've been waiting to ask. So I already use Inflatable Office. Is this, I guess the thing was kind of going in and out, so I was kind of missing some of the stuff. Is this something that would be integrated with our Inflatable Office? I guess I kind of missed some of it. So I know y'all have like a texting thing and a CRM thing, and things of that nature. So are all of these things that would just integrate with what we already have? Or is this something that we would be getting rid of IO and then kind of switching over to a whole new site, or what?
That's a great question. No, you would not be getting rid of IO. Remember when I mentioned the 3 things that you need? Number 1 is a website. We don't build websites. We're not really interested in building websites. I use IO as well. My website is through IO. This would basically, your website, you got to understand there's a difference between website and marketing and funnels.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 things, right? WTF. I want to drill that through everybody's head. WTF. Your website, this is here. I'm gonna turn on my camera here and stop the share. And this is the best way I could put it. Are you guys seeing my screen or no? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Okay, you guys can see me, right?
Yes.
All right. So this is the best way that I like to put this. Your website is your cup. Okay. It's very, very important to understand the function of your website. It's to collect customers, right? It's to collect payments and all that. That's it. Now your cup, just because you have a cup doesn't mean the cup is full, right? You need to fill up the cup. That's what traffic is. Okay. So your website is your cup. Traffic is what you fill up the cup. But then 95% of what you put in the cup or more leaks right out of the bottom and never comes back. That's not a number that I'm just exaggerating or just trying to scare you guys. Look up what is the average conversion rate. You'll find most websites convert at a rate of 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5% if you're killing it. So, and this is, this came from when I was doing Google ads for a bunch of clients. I was looking at their conversion rates and they were all converting at a really low rate. And I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? But there's a difference between traffic and conversion. So your Inflatable Office website is this cup. The traffic, what's in the cup, is Google ads, SEO, social media. Totally different, right? So you need Inflatable Office, your website, okay? You need all those things to fill up the cup. But then even when you do all that, everything's going to leak out. It's the most frustrating. And you're not even going to know it. Does anybody here know how many clicks they got last year? Didn't think so. No, we don't care, right? Does anybody here know how many bookings they got this year or last year? Yeah, we all know that. How much money did you make last year? I could tell you like that, right? We all know how much money we made. We don't care how much money we didn't make, but that's what's happening. Your conversion rate is how many bookings you got compared to how many bookings you could have got. But nobody cares about that number because we only care about what we got. So again, what's happening right now as we speak is you're filling up your cup every day and 99% of it is leaking out. EventHawk patches that leak. That's what EventHawk does. The best way I could put it. That's what a funnel does. A funnel says, hey, before you leave, at least give us your name, email, phone number. At least it works a way to give them an incentive to collect that information. And either it will get them to stay in the cup or it'll let them leak out and then put them back in the cup. Instead of having to consistently pay for more and more and more traffic. And you might be like, oh, Tariq, I don't pay for traffic. Well, your time is worth money. And really, instead of constantly getting new people to your website, what if you can just get more of the people who are already on there to convert? And just to give you an example, if you had 3,000 people on your website this month, right? 3,000 people, which is totally normal, and you only converted 1% you would have 30 bookings, right? 1% of 3,000 is 30. So if you had 3,000 people on your website, you converted 1%, that's 30 bookings, right? And that's what happens. That's normal. Now, what if there was something like Event Hawk that can double your conversion rate and take it from 1% and just add 1 more percent? That's it. That's not like huge, right? But what if I told you that Event Hawk can double your conversion rate? And I guarantee that it'll double your conversion rate. What would happen? You'd go from 30 bookings to 60 bookings. Just going up 1%. That's the power of 1%, right? So this is where conversion rate is important. I know you asked me about inflatable offers, and I went on this tangent, but nobody really understands this concept of the funnel. So I hope this whole WTF thing will
Yeah,
get it
and
through.
so I'm kind of familiar with it. So are y'all similar to like what you do with like ClickFunnels, but it's a different version of that? Is that similar to what y'all are doing, or
Yep.
what? Because I'm actually familiar with with ClickFunnels and stuff like that. I've built a couple funnels before through there, but I don't have time to do all that now. So it's kind of like one of those deals. So when we pay for this, we're getting that funnel for a year. And I'm guessing that is going into our IO CRM, or is that going into a database that y'all provide for us? So where is that information actually going?
That goes into our and so we have our own CRM that it goes into,
Okay.
and it also it can go into your IO if you integrate it. Now, not everybody's integrated. Not everybody can. Depends on like your package with IO. It depends on a lot of things. But yes, it can go into both, or it can just go into one.
Okay. And then so let's say, for instance, we did sign up for the year. What if after the year we decided, like, hey, we built a big clientele. We're doing a lot of repeats and referrals at this point, so we're not really going to progress forward. Would y'all give us a dump on that CRM, or how would that work at that point?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could cancel it. It's no long term. It's either you do month to
Well,
month.
no,
Or
I mean, I'm talking about all the customers in the CRM.
Yeah. No, that's
our customer base.
That's your data. You get your customer list. You can import and export customers anytime you want. Yep. Good question.
Okay, so you can put it into like Excel or something. You can import it.
Yep. You get a CSV, and you can do whatever you want with it. Yep.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yep. Great question.
I do have a quick question. I've been trying to sign up, but it says no products available.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. I'm trying to sign up as well, and they keep saying there's nothing going in the cart. So
Yeah.
There's nowhere to add anything to the cart.
Maybe we sold out, huh? Let me see.
I've been trying ever since you announced it, and I can't get it to work.
Let's take a look here. No
Because
problem.
I want one of those hats, man.
I know. I was going.
All right, let me take a look here. It might be. Doesn't usually cut off after we get too many signups. All right. Let's see.
Hey, I'm gonna get off here real quick, but hey, can we get tickets for you for IAPA?
Yes, we should have some free tickets. I don't know how many they give us or how that works. Every year it's a little different, but look for that announcement soon.
Okay. I've had a couple offer them to me, but I've never even ordered. They're just trying to get me to order from them. But I mean, since I use y'all, I figured maybe I could get some. It's just 2 of us, but if not, I'm sure I could find them anyway. But
yeah, no, we'll get you taken care of.
I appreciate it.
And my next question that I have several questions. So with the Event Hawk, I kind of came in on the back end of the Google ad stuff. So are y'all going to kind of do some advertising for? Are we still going to be running our own ads, like our own Facebook ads and stuff and Google ads? Or are y'all going to give us content for that? I know I'm asking some questions I probably already answered, but I came.
So no, that's a good question. So we can run your advertising. It's an additional monthly fee. What we're offering you is the boot camp to where you can do that on your own. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Now, if you decide that you want to go ahead and hire us to do that for you, then, you know, when that time comes, we're more than happy to do that. But this is designed to get you to where you can do it on your own through the off season, because I know it's tough, but really, you know, we prefer to work with educated business owners, right? So the more you know about what we do, the more you're going to appreciate it, the better things are going to go.
Okay.
All right, I think I just reset it, so it should go ahead and work right now. It should allow you to go ahead and sign up. So if you guys want to try that.
Hey Tyreek, I just had a question. When you get a chance.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. My name is Joe. Sorry. So I'm actually in the Chicago area, like you, more out in Willowbrook.
Oh, hey man.
Hey, how's it going? So I've been following you for a while, and then going through Nick's videos and stuff. So I started in March, and I had 1 unit in March. I moved up to 2 slides, 2 combos, and 1 13x13. Plus, you know, like tables, chairs, and then the pop-up canopies. But my question to you is, like, going into winter, should I should I wait until, you know, February, so then, you know, Event Hawk can be in full effect, and, you know, because I really don't want to. I'm booked almost every weekend as of right now. Like, and we've been pretty consistent off of Facebook marketplace, but I mean, obviously the clientele varies from there. So my question to you was, like, do you think it would be worth it for me to wait till February to get, you know, Event Hawk? I created a website. I have IO already. And that's really it. I'm kind of just using marketplace, and then, you know, my personal Facebook and family, you know, sharing.
Well, okay. So remember what we said. Event Hawk is going to patch the leak on your website, right? So, you know, every day without patching a leak, it's leaking, you know, and you have to do the math yourself, man. I mean, so if you're going to wait till February, that's, you know, you got it's like 5 months from now. I guarantee you can make that amount from now, you know, and then some. And even if you're booked solid, you're generating leads, right? So that when you do grow your inventory, you don't have to start from scratch. You can just send a mass text message to all these people and say, hey, listen, last time you tried booking with me, I didn't have anything left. Here's you know, I just upped my inventory. And not only that, you're not only getting Event Hawk, you're getting the boot camp. And now is the time. You're not going to have time in February to start. You say you are, right? But the season starts before you know it. So my advice.
Yeah, my biggest. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My advice is to start preparing now. That's what we were talking about in the presentation. Yeah. Start working on the off season from now, so that you can, by the time February rolls around, you're good. You know, you're ready. Your SEO is ready, because if you start working on your SEO in February, it may not kick in. And same thing with you. You want to be ready to go, and you want to have these things ready because there's so much to do. There's so much to do.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't want to wait personally. I've been, you know, I watched, like I said, a lot of your videos and stuff like that about Event Hub, and you know, I'm no IT guy by any means, but you know, I could see how it definitely would benefit any of these businesses, right? But I was just thinking too, like, if a person goes, say them ads are going out, the Google ads are going, and I'm getting people clicking, and then, like, you know, Saturdays and Sundays are constantly booked. I don't have many that get booked throughout the week, but, you know, I didn't want to deter, like, or just have people not want to come back, or, you know what I mean? Because if I'm booked already, so, like, maybe my goal is to have 10 units by the end of this year. And so with that being said, going into, you know, maybe getting in touch with you in January, February, and then, you know, starting 2023 out, you know, a little bit stronger than I did this year.
Yeah, again, that's a decision.
But I understand what you're saying.
That's a decision you have to make. I mean, for me personally,
yeah, no,
you know, I mean, like, if you do the math, like, let's say, like again, you know, 970 divided by 12, it's $80 a month. I mean, I could think of a lot of things that you spend $80 a month on that you don't even use, and that's a day. That's $2 a day. So for me, again, you know, having not just Event Hawk, having the support, having me and my team, you could text us anytime, having those videos, having the Facebook community, We do the mentorship roundtables in there. Having all that stuff is going to be key to your success because you're not doing it when the season, when it's prime time. And
Absolutely.
it's for me again. It's a no brainer. And for me, I'll tell you, like last year, 2022, I got about just in Event Hawk alone 2,200 leads, 2,200 people entered into my Event Hawk funnel. I only booked like 30% or 25%. I booked like 600 or 700 just through Event Hawk. What about the rest? Right? The rest,
right,
they're not gone. Right? Just because I didn't book them, like for you, even a lot of them. I didn't book not because I sucked, but because I didn't have inventory, right? I was booked solid. So
yes,
for those people, I can send them, at the beginning of the year. I could text and say, hey, the year's starting. Don't make the same mistake as last year. I can text them on Thanksgiving, on Halloween. I can text them with a weekday special. I can do these things. And if I get just, 1% to book with me out of like 1,000, that's 10 people. That's 10 orders, 10 customers they didn't have before. So I think that's totally worth it. And usually, like, this is pays for itself in about 3 bookings. So I would say honestly, the only reason to wait is if you absolutely can't afford it. And if not, then there is a monthly option. It's more expensive. It's definitely not as good of a deal. But other than that, again, what I tell people is we're all business owners. You want people to value you. You need to value yourself. You need to invest in these things. And for me, that I would put it on a credit card. If I can't, and this is just if you couldn't afford it, put it on a credit card. By the time the payment is due, if you don't make enough money to pay for it, you just cancel. We'll refund you. We've done it before to people who haven't really put in the work. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
went off on a tangent.
Yeah, I know Facebook ads don't work. I mean, I had one ad out that it reached 3,000 people and I didn't get one booking. And I mean, I'm sure my website might not be the greatest, but yeah, I could see though. I get it. I understand. I mean, all right, Tyreek. Well, thank you for your help. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Hope to be working with you, man. It's good to be working with local people. I know it's
hopefully
rough out
soon.
there.
Hopefully soon. Well, actually, one more question while I got you. When does your season, because we're so close, when does your season typically really slow down? Being this is my first year, I kind of don't know what to expect. I mean, without Event Hawk, I would imagine, I know that it's going to be, it's going to end a little sooner than yours, but with the weather change and stuff like that, when do you typically really slow down?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, you really start to slow down in October. You feel it big time in October, but that's not to say you could shut down because you got Halloween in October. November, we kill it with tables and chairs, and then Christmas stuff. Yeah. And so there's stuff going on. Me personally, I decided that I would rather just shut down in October. Like, I don't do any bookings in October at all, largely because of 2 things. Our guys, we lose a big part of our guys, so I end up getting called in, and I don't really want to be working by myself in the rain. And really more importantly for me, is the weather. It starts to rain, you start to get the leaves, your units start to get stained, and you're going to be so tired and so understaffed that you're not really going to clean them and dry. There's really nowhere to clean. They're dry. It's always ugly. And I have a unit that I literally threw in the garbage, threw it in a dumpster from all the leaf stains. We opened it up the next year and it's all leaves and it's just no way I'm cleaning it. No, I couldn't even donate it. I even thought about donating it to somewhere. It was that embarrassing from all the leaf stains from the rain that were in there. So for me, I value my equipment more where I'm you know what? I'd rather just strategize during season to put away enough money for the off season. I have a number. I know how much my off season costs me, and we break it up every week and we put that away. And off season, we don't even worry about it. We have an account that's ready for that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that information.
You're welcome, man.
Well, hopefully, I'll see you by the end of next month. I'll get hooked up with the Event Hawk. I got one business partner, actually a good friend of mine. So I'm gonna talk it over with him, and then hopefully we're all set up. But thanks, Tyreek. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Talk soon.
All right.
What's up, Zach?
Hey there, you doing good?
Zach, you're busy, man. I see you making moves.
I'm trying. I'm at the fire station now. I was talking to Nick earlier. We were in a Zoom meeting over there with him and talking about event hawks. I wrote some notes down. I'm gonna talk over with my wife and see. I was trying to explain to them that we're wanting to get bigger for sure. But with my full-time job being the inflatables part, it's just like a part-time job. I'm almost scared to grow a little bit right now where we're at. We do fairly good. We're not completely booked out everything. We only got 13 inflatables. So, definitely want to make the most money we can make, obviously. But with me not being able to be there and not having the employees necessarily just yet to be able to kind of run things when I'm gone, it's kind of hard. I'm scared to get busier, I guess, if that makes any sense. We're trying to change some things around with employees. I had a really good employee this year, but I'm about to lose him because we're seasonal. So trying to do some different things with employees to be able to try to retain people better or better training on our end to be able to get somebody that we can trust to run everything that we're there so that we can grow and get bigger for sure.
Yeah, no, that's very wise of you, I would say, to be cautious and not want to grow too fast. It's a mistake that a lot of us make, but it's hands down the most difficult, the most challenging part of this industry is the workforce. The employees, and it's something we've struggled with. Like, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I went through a Department of Labor audit this year. I've never had anything like that happen ever. But somebody actually went out of their way to call the Department of Labor on us. And usually we're pretty good. There's just disgruntled employee, and thankfully it went okay. But no, you're wise to do that. You just have to sit down and crunch your numbers. Again, for me, all these systems are put in place to help you run your business like a boss, right? Right now, when you're focusing on Facebook Marketplace and doing everything on the phone and doing all these things, it's all over the place. Event Hawk, the CRM itself is so clean. It makes it so that you and your wife can both get the messages. You could be more organized. You're more legit. It's harder to forget about customers. You can get your Facebook messages and your Event Hawk text messages and your Google My Business all in one place. So it's a lot easier to be organized. Makes your life easier. And some people even use it for like their employees. Like they'll send, they'll communicate with their employees through that, or have the employees, like you can add your employee as a user and have them text your customer like I'm on the way. There's a lot that you could do. As far as growth, it's just something that you have to kind of look at. Nobody can tell you how fast, to grow. You need to decide that, crunch the numbers, and just really decide, because family first, man, 100%.
Yeah, that's our hardest part is during the summertime. We were talking about earlier about doing Christmas lights and stuff, and I want to do something like that. And obviously, to retain employees and things like that. But summertime, between my fire department job and inflatables, I'm gone a lot. And I've got a 4-year-old. I've just found out I got 2 twin baby girls on the way that'll be here first of next year. So I'm being home is kind of a rarity. So the wintertime is kind of like my downtime to be able to relax. So I'm kind of nervous about filling that up too, but we are definitely, we want to grow, we want to get a little bigger. I don't want to be much bigger than what we are for where I'm at now. I'll get about 8 more years so I can retire, and but I do want to grow and build, because this would be full time for me at that point. But we've done pretty good. This year has been a little bit of a down year for us, especially last year. But we're looking to do something different. We're trying to boost some sales. We had some SEO work done and a few years ago, and it did tremendous for us. And some other companies have kind of caught back up with us now, and you can kind of tell sales are down a little bit. I haven't pushed it too much this year. We only had 2 employees, so I didn't push sales quite as hard as I could have, probably, or should have, just because I was nervous that we were going to get too busy and I'm off, and we only have 2 employees trying to handle everything. We're in a pretty rural area, so there's 30 to 40 minutes between rentals where we have to drive, so it's kind of hard sometimes to handle, depending on how busy we get with just 2 employees having to get everything out in one day. But we're learning a little bit and trying to change some things in how we operate, cutting our delivery area down a little bit. Hopefully, especially if we can get more sales in the local area, that would definitely help us out in that aspect.
Google Ads is great for that. That's helped us a lot with Google Ads, and I know what that's like. I mean, I used to be at the hospital, and my phone would be vibrating. My wife is texting me. My employees are texting me, and it's like, man, like this is so stressful. I did the night shift. I did the day shift. It's hard, and especially if you're trying to retire. I just quit, right? But you got a good thing going. You want to retire, so I wish I had better advice on that side of things. You know, I'm really good at getting you to grow fast, but if you're not sure, you know, that's where, you know, I can't help too much there. It's just something you need to control. But
Well, yeah,
it's
we're kind of, I really want to grow faster, and I kind of know what I need to be able to have at least one full-time employee I can pay on like salary for the year. They kind of run everything, and if I had one employee I have now that's about to leave, if I could afford to pay him a salary, I would, and he could run it, and I would. You know, he's top. He's only 18. I mean, that's pretty much a rarity for that age, but he's really good. We're just not busy enough. I know how many we need to have to get busy enough, but I'm not where I need to be able to make those purchases to get the extra inflatables in to make it happen just yet. And that's where I'm kind of like on that little fence of, do I bite the bullet and go get a big loan and get these inflatables and make it happen and work towards getting that paid off and paid down? We just got debt free this year, so I'm kind of happy about being the whole debt free thing. But I'm on the fence of, do I get bigger and have this one guy to run everything and kind of have that help pay his salary so I can make it work? You know, it's a bunch of different things we've been talking to other companies about and how they do it, how they operate it. A little bit different with us because it's not our full time thing, you know. So I can't dedicate 7 days a week like some people can to it. Out the day I'm stuck here for 24 hours, so I can only do so much. I can do a little computer work, do some calls as long as it all runs. But the day has been a particularly busy day, so it's been kind of hard to keep up. I'm actually really behind, and you try to spend the next 2 days catching up on sales and things like that. But then you've also got your equipment to clean. You got rentals going out, rentals to pick up, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of tough. It would definitely help to have a full-time person to kind of help run things for sure.
You know what you really need is you just need to have more talks like this with more operators, and that's really, you know, that's honestly I think the best thing for you is just to participate in more of these talks, because what you're saying is not very unique. I mean, it feels like you're going. I'm not belittling what you're going through, but it's the same story so many of us are going through, and some people are having success, you know, with it, others aren't, and I think if you just kind of join these roundtables more often and just talk to these people, you'll find some pretty great solutions. Definitely invest some time in that, but you'll get it, man. I mean, honestly, it just comes down to time and money. That's where I'm at. I got my 2 kids, and they mean the world to me. I'll turn down money any day I can, you know, just to be there. Because you know, congrats on your twins. You don't have these kids you're lucky if you get them for 18 years, right? And then they're out of the nest. So you want to definitely savor that. So my wife's stuck on 2, and I'm like, man, we need another baby. I love the little kids, but it's a lot of work, and we don't really want to start over. Ours are 10 and 8, so they're starting to be independent where we can go out and do our own thing. So yeah, you definitely see the value in sticking out. But you'll get it. I know you will. Just keep learning, keep talking to people. It comes with time. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Let's see here. So Nicole, I don't know if Nicole left, but she asked, is the boot camp at your own pace? Would love to take it in the fall when things slow down a bit. Yes, it is. It's just it's not live. We did the live version earlier in the year, or I think a month ago, maybe. So yeah, it is at your own pace. It shows you like your progress, how far you are in the boot camp, and you could just kind of go back in and jump in and rewatch stuff whenever. Let's see here. So I do have the link working now. Sorry, guys. I did put it in the chat again. Okay, I think that's the question from everybody here. Skyline Party Rentals, beachfront sand. Any questions?
Hey, Tyreek, you answered everything that I had for you. Thank you very much again.
Wonderful. Thank you. We could jump back into the main session if you guys are. Kayla, you good?
Yep, I'm good. All signed up.
All right. Thank you. Super excited. We'll be reaching out soon to get your hat color. I got you. We got some pink. We got some pinks left. Not many, but this is the one everybody wants. So I think we'll get you.
Awesome. Thank you.
They're hard to get. We've been trying to get those all year. Everything's so expensive, and it's just like, man, can't do it. All right. So if we don't have any other questions, then I will close out this breakout room, and we'll go back to the main session, and we can continue the conversation there. Any last questions before we jump back? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close the room, and it should automatically send you to that main session. So here we go.
No, it gets really lucrative. That's why I was like, and then, like I said, that some of these hospitals are throwing events, and they're the ones throwing fundraisers, so they're people you want to talk to too. But yeah, I've been looking at some really weird stuff since I found out about that.
So if you're into magic, I'll tell you what a program I did with a magician years and years and years ago when I was really, really skinny and young. So I used to be a magician's assistant, and we had a bear and we had a cougar, and we would go around and we would tour with schools. And the way we did the tour is we would sell advance tickets to the magic show. But the lead in to the magic show was every school got a ticket, one ticket per classroom. And they would go through and they would do a coloring contest or a joke contest or some sort of a contest for the kids to win. One kid would win. And then everybody, all their friends wanted to come because Joey had won a free ticket. So we would sell out 1 or 2 magic shows per school, and we would hit like 3 or 4, schools a day, and they were all sold out in the number of tickets. And they either got to do it during the school day during recess, or like recess and library time, or we did it after school. And if it was after school, we'd bring the animals, and then it was a huge show because the parents and everybody could come. So the key factor there was that we always gave away 1 free ticket per classroom, and it worked like gangbusters. So that was, and you just blow into town and make a few $1,000s and move on to the next one, and it just all week long. So if you're thinking about doing something with magic, that's a thing that we used to do, which I would imagine it would work 20 years later. It worked 20 years ago.
There's even like what they do is like I've had like there's people that give out like these free magician books. Like there's one part of the course and you can go and do the rest of them in there. There's even another like more advanced course if you know a little bit about magic that actually teaches you like actual magic tricks and whatnot for like an after school program that you can do too. But I would have to learn a lot more if I were to try and do that and want to go down that route. But it could be lucrative. I was even thinking, besides learning more quickly, if I could partner with like a local magician, and honestly would be really perfect for that. And they would actually make more money off it too, and there would be more synergy there with my business as well. So if you know magic and you're in Buffalo, let's talk.
I'm sure you can find several magicians in Buffalo.
Yeah, no, there's one guy, he's the best, but he's older. So I don't know if he's the right person for it though. I'm looking
There are
for like
magic clubs all across the country. Just find your local magic club.
Yeah, right.
What's up, guys? Sorry. Let's just wait for a bit. Back. How's it going, Justin?
What's up, buddy?
Been a while. Thank you, Stacy, for
Oh, that's okay. I had to talk because Jenna made me.
Did we go through the let me put this list up and see. I'm curious to see who does some of the stuff on this list here. Let me see. I took a
There's the list. I've been looking for the list since I started talking.
You have been going. I'm sorry. I'm just jumping. I'm just going to put it up here just so everybody sees it. So this is kind of just the master list that I've compiled. Did we go through this stuff?
We talked about Santa's workshop, trackless train. We talked about hauling
throwing chairs.
Yeah, furniture. And then like a side hustle, we talked about photo booths. It seems like there was something else. Corporate
Justin
events.
Jumped into magic.
Yeah.
Educational programs.
Yeah, we talked about different things that you can do at schools.
Daycares, hospitals, yeah.
Yep. Daycares, yeah.
What about getting a job?
I guess I kind of touched on decor with like the sets with Santa and stuff, but not decor like holiday decor or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like a lot of this stuff, it's almost too late to get into. You know, you have to kind of plan for this stuff ahead of time. Not to discourage anybody.
No, really,
but
you do have to plan for it if you need to invest in it. But if you've already got some of the things, it's just about now is the time, the jump off time for Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. Now's the time to market Santa. You could get a Santa suit and go for it right now.
Wow, in August, that's crazy.
No, I've already got bookings.
Wow, are they repeat or new?
50-50.
Yeah, and I feel like you find that the bigger orders, the more serious, the more legit people, they tend to book ahead of time, right? It's those last minute people who are just the ones that give you a hard time. So same with school. So yes.
However, I did book my first July bounce for next year just last week. I was excited about that.
What kind of event?
Oh yeah, I got a few of those. They're so weird.
I know, it's like, okay, I'll put you down. We'll see you in a year.
Yeah, then they call you every week until then.
That's awesome.
Like doing minor little changes.
I do
Yeah,
see
she was
it.
great. She was a dunk tank and a bounce, and she said, "Oh, okay, great. Let's do the dunk tank, bounce, face painter, and blueness for next year." Okay, great, we got you.
I do see a message from Jake in the chat. How much would you charge for an all-day bracelet at an event? I think it kind of depends on what type of units you have. More so than anything, what hours you're open and that kind of stuff. Personally,
and we don't do all days usually. We do 4 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say personally, I mean, I've had a few successful pay to plays, but most of them are not always the best. So be very cautious when you consider doing one.
Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've done a pay to play. I'll be honest.
Same.
I'll do like a guaranteed minimum though. Like if somebody's gonna do a pay to play themselves and they want to take care of collecting the money and whatnot, and they want to do it, I'll do a sliding scale minimum with them, which I've had some success with. I have that success with concessions more than anything because money's in food. But like I'll have a group. Sometimes I'll have a group come to me, blah blah blah, nonprofit, weep weep sob sob. But they're like, I want three different concession machines, and I'm like, all right, well, here's the deal. You have to buy our supplies, and here's what we'll do. Depending on what you sell, we're going to charge you a percentage on the machine until you get to a certain amount. So it's like making them buy the supplies, and then they will rent the machine. So it's like $25 for the base rental on the machine, but then the more they sell, the more they pay me until they get to the full price of the machine. And very rarely do they not do it if it's a big enough event. Now, if it's a little bitty event, it never breaks even. But it's my way to backhandedly give them a discount on something that's sitting on a shelf. I never do it on something I just have one of, but I mean, I have 4 or 5 snow cone machines, I forget. So yeah, you want a snow cone? That's fine. I know that maybe didn't make any sense.
Well, because if you do the one, if somebody's going to ask you like 10 minutes later if they can rent it as soon as you give it out for free.
No, I meant the sliding scale, how to do like the sliding scale on what they pay you. But I mean, I have a whole thing written up about it. But basically, I'm making my money on selling them the supplies.
Yep. No, I was about to say you said you don't ever do that when you only have one of the items.
Oh, right. But I'm saying like if it's something I got multiple of, it's a little easier to do that. I haven't done it for a while, but it's sort of like a pay to play on concessions, to be honest. It's like, oh, we're having a movie night. We want 4 concession machines. Okay, well, this is how you can do it for a little bit less. But if they've got a crowd of 200 or 300 people, they make their money on the concessions, and I'll always get something out of it. But the part of it being that they have to buy your supplies, that guarantees that you got a profit built in. So,
does anybody else do like custom rentals? Like they'll do custom, like maybe even a custom inflatable for somebody. Does anybody even try market stuff like that? Or am I the only crazy?
The most custom I ever got on an inflatable was doing custom printed banners for Mod House with their like logo on it.
Right. So I got like $2,500 for a dunk tank.
That's cool. Did you wrap it?
I had they put stickers on it for body armor, and was it body armor? Powerade, body armor, and then I did a custom target, and then a custom a custom backdrop. And I got paid for that, and then I got another $1,200 for for 12 trash cans for beer pong. And I got these covers printed and just put them on it for Labatt Blue.
That's such a New York thing.
I bought the dunk tank for like $2,000. So just I don't know. That's why I ask anybody who's done custom stuff, because it can get kind of lucrative. Like I'll even like tents. Oh, give me, you know what I mean? Give me X amount of dollars, and I'll do a custom tent for you. And then, or if you pay this fee, I'll have the top printed and I'll store it in my warehouse for you every year. So this way I can set it up for you every single year, because I got it stored for you, and you're gonna call me no matter what. But they don't know that, and I'm getting extra money from them for putting
a lot of tent guys I know will store tents for clients.
Someone said, made a lot of sense, Stacy. I need you in my life forever. Stacy's awesome.
I don't know who that is, but friend me, because I need you in my life too.
Well, if you guys want more from Stacy, we did an interview for like an hour we talked a lot about employees. You had some really great tips on employees. So that's on the Event Hawk YouTube channel. Check that out. Gerald asked about photo booth recommendations. I can chime in on this, but anybody else does photo booths here?
Well, we had a little talk about some photo booths that we were just touching on, and the bargain 3 photo booths for $3,000 that somebody got for a steal. But if you're looking about purchasing a photo booth, is that what the question is? Like, what brand would you recommend purchasing?
Sounds like it. Yeah. Yes. Gerald says yes.
Okay. So it depends on what you want to do with the photo booth. So first off, open air all the way. Don't get anything enclosed anymore ever. It's just not, it's kitschy, but it's not safe given the climate of pandemics that we are now going to be facing for the remainder of our lives. So don't put people in a 4-foot box and close a curtain. So an open air booth, which is basically you're gonna invest in backdrops, pipe and drape, that kind of a thing. If you're gonna invest in those, go with a pillow backdrop. They're usually the easiest and most professional looking. I use a lot of pipe and drape because I own it for my business. But a lot of what I do with photo booths people these days, they don't just want a photo booth, they want a photo experience. They also want to be able to take their own selfies. So that can lead you down the path to a couple different directions. If you want to go economical and easy, you get an iPad booth. And an iPad booth, there's one called a ring roomer. You can do that. You can literally drop it off and go. They can do their own stuff. You can get booths that are powered by like a Surface, and you buy the shell and you put the equipment into it. But if you just want like a done for you, set it and forget it system, one of the better ones out there right now is called a Salsa booth, but it is Apple technology. So there is some problem with, if you don't know Apple, learning how to getting it to drop to the printer to print out. So what I currently run, we have set it and forget it, like do it your selfie stations where we set them up and they can just touch a screen and it's all digital and there's no printing at all. I have a couple of those setups, and then
do you have it where it's on Wi-Fi, and then they actually just print it and they send it to their phone that way?
They can send it to their Facebook. They can email it to themselves. They can. The settings are within the programs, whatever the client wants. So if the client wants it to pop up and get their email, so they can collect it for marketing purposes, or if they want to text it to themselves, they get their phone number. It's all about what the client wants the program to do.
Does the program allow you to even add the backdrop of like the logo and stuff because the client wants that?
Yeah, you do all the graphics setup ahead of time.
I know exactly what market you're talking about.
But we run most of ours off of, like, the remainder of our booths are either a DSLR with an actual camera, or we run it off of we have some higher end webcams, and we do Surface Pros. So we have kind of like 3 levels of different, but we like the ability to print straight to like a dye sublimation or a fast printer. So most of the printing I do is either going to be 2 strips or 1 4x6 photo. We belong to a subscription service where we have like 999 templates we can choose from, and we just shoot them a link to the gallery. They pick their template, we put their name and phone number in, and we've got all the graphics we could ever need with that. So that one photo booth club that we belong to does a lot. That's just depends on how much you want to get into and how techy you are. I mean, if you need something that just does its own thing, or if you want to delve into something that, you do a little bit of work to get the output out of. We have more than one program that we work with, but we tend to fall back to Spark Booth. It works really well on both IAPA, both Surface and DSLR. You just buy a license for each, and you get like 3 licenses under each, 3 stations under each. So I have to say, admittedly, my husband does a lot of that stuff. That's kind of in its own little division, but it's worth it if you market it right. I probably send more of my photo booths out for Easter Bunny and Santa pictures than almost anything else these days. The remainder of the ones go to like a school fair, or most of the time it's like, here's a graduation party, here's your little booth, you're gonna beep bop boop, it goes to the phone. That's all they wanted to do. They just wanted to take the picture and they want to send it to their phone. I get more money for the backdrop I set up that I do for the photo booth most of the time, because they want balloons and a garland and a chair and a sparkly backdrop and props and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's really evolved into not just a photo booth, but a picture taking experience. And that's my 2 cents on photo booths. Thank you very much.
Never disappoint. You never disappoint. My, I would just say, so you got the perspective of somebody as awesome as Stacy. I'm going to give you perspective of somebody who is not, we got into photo booths when we weren't around for that long and didn't have an established team and all that. And our biggest problem, we got the open air iPad booth and we got the Magic Mirror photo booth, which is really good money. I saw somebody talking on Facebook about that. You can rent that thing for like $1,000 or more per event. But
that's the average cost right now, $1,000.
The problem we experienced is I ended up going to every single job personally, because our guys are used to lugging vinyl in the back of a truck, and they were treating our $15,000 Magic Mirror the same way. And there's so much more that can go wrong. I mean, I really appreciated inflatables after getting into photo booths. The printer, like if a kid bumps into the printer when they're running around the wedding or something, or it runs out, so many different things can go wrong. Even like you have to have spare HDMI cords. It's nothing that you can't do, but it's just, from my experience, you have to look at it totally differently than inflatables. You have to just approach it differently. It's more upscale, I guess you could say. You just can't approach it with the same mindset, was my experience. So just keep that in mind. Don't think that, and I've seen this a lot where people are like, Tariq, you're running my Google ads. Can you run Google ads can we run ads? Can we create a campaign for photo booths? And I say, sure, but it's not going to go well. And I know that because I've been there. Simply adding a photo booth to your inventory is not enough. It needs to be kind of like Stacy said, an experience, because if we run an ad if we run an ad and promote your photo booths, they're going to see your photo booth item, and your competitor has a photo booth site with all this gorgeous stuff and all this, like Stacy said, an experience. So that's where a lot of people, myself included, we fell short. You almost need a whole nother website, and you really don't want to do that. It's a lot of work. We ended up getting another website and doing Check Cherry, which is another software, and it was just so much work. It was like running 2 businesses, and in the end, it wasn't worth it. We got rid of it. So not to discourage anybody, there was good money in it. It is like from my experience, photo booth season, we were busiest in like January, February during engagement season. We got a lot of bookings during like engagement wedding season. a lot of it was for the summer, which, threw another wrench in it. But just some things to keep in mind for photo booths. I don't know that I can agree with the whole set it and forget it for anything. We always we're so close that they're going to have some kind of problem with the printer or something, that even with the
Set it and forget it does not have a printer.
Even with it's just technology, we get calls like, hey, it's not working, I have to drive back there. So I know you're saying the one where it sends to the phone. I would just not set your expectations too high for that, from my experience. Maybe if you spend some more time with Stacy, if I had somebody like Stacy, I might still have my photo booths right now, but I didn't. So we threw in the towel with that.
I was honestly thinking of just doing a giant booth and do props, crazy props, put money into props and just let everybody just take pictures with their own phones and just try and rent that out. I don't even know if it would rent though.
Okay, so right now it's huge around here are selfie parks. Then they do basically that. They set up rooms and each room has props.
Exactly. But I would have that. That's how I would literally set up maybe 1 or 2 stations, a selfie room. That's exactly what I was thinking. They are really popular. I've done actually a couple festivals, 420 festivals inside some. They're actually really crazy.
Someone said, what about just adding a full page on your website dedicated to photo booths, one for Easter, one for Christmas, etc.? I think that's a great idea. I think that's better than starting a whole nother website, mainly for the reviews. If you have, let's say, 100 reviews for your bounce houses, and then you start a new page for photo booths, you still have 100 reviews, even though those 100 reviews talked about bounce houses. It's the same business. Yes, your logo might be different or whatever, but I think people underestimate the amount of work that goes into a new website, a new Google My Business, new Facebook page, new. You start with 0 reviews. It's so much more efficient to just use your existing brand and just add that page. So I think that's a great idea. With Event Hawk, you can actually create a landing page within there where, and that's what we did for you, Justin. It's not it's part of your site, but it's not on your site. It's not people can't find it. You can't go from your photo booth site to your bounce house. It's totally separate. So it looks like a totally different business. So it doesn't share the same header. So for your bounce houses, you want a header for that.
Can you technically buy another domain too? And then redirect that to that landing page too, if you really wanted to. So it does a .com, but it's really on your front paging site.
Yep, that's a great way to do it. 100%. Or I prefer to do subdomains. So I prefer to do the instead of yourbouncehouse.com, it would be photobooth.yourbouncehouse.com. People don't care what your website is these days.
But if you had Santa Claus near me. And you're going to do a Santa Claus landing page, couldn't you technically do that and take over that that subdomain? Don't buy, actually, no, nobody, don't start buying domains. It gets really addicting. I wouldn't wish it on anybody actually right now.
Yep. Already been there, done that. Yeah, I got a ton of domains. That's a great idea. I should buy that. And then you never do anything with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, you can go either way. You could buy another domain, or you could just use your existing domain. Again, I'm a fan of using what you have before you spend too much time and money on something new, because then it's just it's easier to try. I love the idea of creating just a bunch of pages on the same website and see which one kicks off. You'll start to notice which one goes in. And with Event Hawk, you can have a separate form, right? You could have one for your photo booths, one for Christmas, one for Easter, so that those people are independent of your bounce house people. So you can talk to them differently next year. You can say, hey, last year you inquired about Easter. Let's get you in early this year, or Christmas, or photo booths. So it's important to, and that's a part of the other problem is when you have one website, everybody kind of goes through the same thing. And, when they do decide to start talking to you, they start to get the same emails as your bounce house customers do. And, no bride wants to rent a photo booth from a bounce house company, right? So it does help to kind of isolate them in that way. But definitely a lot of potential in that business. If I were to do it again, I would like to maybe found a partner, somebody who could run that and just take half, just to give it its fair, because I don't know, just you need cleaner people, different truck, different, just to be more legit. It's really, the photo booth industry is cutthroat, man. Like it is, I don't know, whenever we've run ads again, you know, for stuff, it's so many competition, and you got, you know, you think the $50 bounce house guys are bad. They got like all kinds of stuff in there too. And just so many more. Like you think you have competitors for bounce houses. There's way more for photo booths. I found it's just
Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
it's cheaper to get into it. So anybody can
Do you
do
see
it.
a lot of photographers with people that have photo booths? Like they get both? I feel like they get both.
Honestly, there's very few photographers that I know that have a photo booth. Most of them got very few of them that I work with that are professional photographers have both. There's a few, but not very many. Photo booths are kind of their own little breed.
No, I'm saying like, do you see a lot of photographers at photo booth events? I feel like I always see a photographer.
Oh yeah, anytime it's a gala, they got a photo booth and a photographer. So yeah. Wedding, photo booth, and a photographer. Company picnic, not so much. Company picnic or birthday party or grad party, just the photo booth.
Honestly, would be smart for them to start renting them chips out. Honestly, if you think about it, don't tell me that. Don't tell them that though. Keep that in here. That's crazy.
All right, let's see what other questions we have. So, like I said, I will go back and see anyone who asked anything about Event Hawk or anything. I'll go back and answer that. Any questions about off-season stuff or anything in general? I mean, as the Zoom winds down. Up and Jumpin' said, opinions on the 360 photo booths. Are those the ones that spin? I've been seeing a lot of those. I've never gotten into those. Look really cool. I've seen the TikToks of people getting hit in the face.
Straight up opinion on the 360 photo booth. It depends on what your market is. There is a certain demographic for those.
You have one, Stacy?
No, because that's not my demographic.
Okay.
However, Sean has one.
Oh, okay. Does he?
It's more urban, and he's in more of an urban area than I am. It's not like everybody doesn't love them. I mean, teens and young people love them. It doesn't matter. But the people who rent them for parties tend to be, you know, a little bit different than my market. So, we talked about it, but it's just really, I've not had any requests for it. My rule of thumb is I need to have 4 or 5 requests before I even delve into it. And I just haven't had any requests for it. I am starting to get the cold sparkler requests. They're starting to filter out to my neck of the woods. Fog machines have picked up. But, you know, for years that was, you know, also, you know, not quite the same wedding that I was dealing with or the same kind of party I was dealing with. So I would encourage people to really examine their market before investing in a 360 because it's right now trendy, but not stable enough that I would throw a lot of money into it. I would buy a mirror booth first for my market. But again, I don't live in New York and I don't live in other areas. So there are some areas that it might be the hottest thing since sliced bread. I mean, 30 miles from me, it's hot, but not in my subdivision.
I think it's important to differentiate between searchable products and, like you said, trendy. Like people don't really, you know, I don't know. Like last year we had the foam party. Like we would run Google ads and really there would be almost no traffic. This year it's definitely picked up. So there are products like we had a guy come to us with a jelly ball, and he was very frustrated because we couldn't help him market his jelly ball on Google. And I'm like, dude, nobody's looking for jelly ball. You have to create that market. It's something you have to make videos about and go on social media. It's more of a social media marketing thing. So I think that's what we have to differentiate with these things that we get into. People search for Santa, right? People search for Christmas lights. People may not necessarily search for the 360 booth. They search for photo booth in general. You're going to have to convince them that that's what they need, and you may do a good job of that. But I do have a video where I go through how you can go on Google Ads, and you don't have to be running Google Ads, but it'll show you how many people in your area are searching for a specific product. And I wish I knew that before getting into a lot of things that I got into now. It would have saved me a lot of time and money. But I would definitely recommend anything new that you're thinking about getting into. And I do link to that video and that survival kit that I shared. But man, there's so many of us just get into impulse things because they're, affordable or exciting, and you just do it, and it's just like, So that would be my recommendation there.
Stacy, do you have a snow machine? Oh, can you hear me?
No, I was on multiple screens. I do have a snow machine, but it's a small one. It's only meant for like indoor snow.
You should get an Atari.
I have real snow.
Yeah, I don't want real snow. I like simulated snow.
You said boom. I don't know if you guys saw this question or not. Brian asked, we have other companies we help in Australia.
Yes, we do. Australia is good. I think, which one is the one that we weren't able to? I think it was only one company.
New Zealand?
New Zealand, yep.
Is it?
New Zealand is the
New
only...
Zealand's weird. We get the same issue over here with the phone.
Yeah, all other, we got Ireland, Australia, all over. UK, no problems. New Zealand is the only one we had issues for some reason. Kate asked for how do you see the video? Kate, if you text in the word survive like I showed, it'll send you all the links. One of those links, I'll see if I can get just that direct video.
Somebody here is from New Zealand.
Oh, no way. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you guys are super progressive. They would not give... I think where we got stuck was they didn't want to give the business a texting phone number. They didn't want the business to be able to text or something like that. So they just wouldn't do it. All right, so here's the video to research the traffic in your area. I just put that in. Save that. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. And then you'll see you'll be able to save that video. All right. I think that's all the questions there. But yes, definitely research before you jump into something. You can, again, if it's like something new, like 360, you just have to run. You have to do a lot more work. You have to run Facebook and Instagram ads targeting your clientele. So for example, it would be like you could target engaged women between the ages of 20 to 30, for example, who have a wedding within the next month. You could do that. It's effective, but it's a lot more work than if you were to get into a product where people are already looking for. That's why I say, I would personally rather just grow my bounce house and water slide inventory until I have stuff, until I can keep up. So for those of you guys who still have weekends where you're completely sold out and you say, man, I wish I had more water slides, I would say it's better to grow that side of things rather than get into something new, because people are going to want that. It's not going to fade away. It's not going to be that's where your focus should be. And you're not going to get that stuff for months and months and months. So I would get on that now before it's too late. I shared a live video the other day. We didn't get our unit till 2 weeks ago. We ordered it back in March, and we missed, we missed Easter, we missed 4th of July, Labor Day, we missed everything. We missed the whole year, and we got a lot of requests for it. So I wish that we had ordered it sooner. So this is the time. Leisure, but it's to be expected. It was like 6 months. Yeah. everybody's super behind. But it was just like a last minute. My wife finally said, yes, you can buy the shark unit that I've been asking her to buy for 2 years. And we got it after the year was pretty much over. So that sucks. But there is that. Any questions in the Facebook, Jana? Let's see. I think that's everything. Guys, feel free to unmute. I know you guys are clearly sticking around here. You guys are invested, so don't hesitate to unmute, ask any questions. You got some greats here, some literally decades of experience before your eyes. Not always we get this opportunity, so get them before it's too much past their bedtime. Or we can all go to sleep. Your choice.
It's always like this.
It's a tough crowd. You have to like beg them to talk. I know they all have questions, but
does anybody want to get the phone machines?
Then I have to start just calling them out by name.
Let's call them
That's
out.
usually what-
We'll do that. We'll call one at a time. And sometimes people just really want to listen. I think they just want to, like, man, I don't want to leave and miss anything. I know I've been on Zooms where it's just like, oh man, it's already over. I wish, like, I just want to stick around. I don't want to leave. So that might be part of that. But let's see here. John Snyder, the Ginger Man himself. I'm just going in order here. This man doesn't have an off season, so I think he's good. I think he's just here to hang out. Little Jumpers, Michael Green, I saw you signed up for the off-season survival kit. Appreciate you, man. I know Indiana's tough, but excited to have you on board.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those things we got to navigate through the winter.
How was this year for you? This was your first year with the Van Hawk and all that, right?
Yep. It was fantastic. Like I was telling Jenna, we're on pace to at least double our earnings from last year.
Awesome.
Very thankful for everything you and your team have done for us.
Oh man, that makes my day. Congratulations, man. Doubling, that is amazing. I think now it's just, like I said, this gets you 90% there. Now you got to figure out how to save for the off season and how to. Honestly, we didn't do a great job of that this year. Unfortunately, we just had too much going on, and we got rid of a bunch of stuff. Maybe premature. We may end up getting our tents back next year. We lost a lot of money and a lot of unhappy people. So
yeah.
Well, I need the team, so that's like my office manager was not happy because that was a big part.
I'm getting rid of my pole tents and I'm keeping all my frame tents. I'm just going with that.
Yeah,
and they're all in agreement. That's probably the move.
Yeah, 100%.
I was in Tennessee this week, and my guys did all the deliveries and all the event. I haven't been in the truck in a month. They did all the deliveries. They did all the setups and everything like that, and they did a $5,000 event while I was just gone. I didn't do any. I was in Tennessee.
Yes. You probably missed it because you've been on here, but I have to give a shout out to Mr. Green because he just tagged us in a post and he's sending out mailers with some trifolds that look like.
Yes, that stuff does huge. Man, this is what I'm talking about. Implementation, man. And Mr. Green here is very quiet too. Those are the ones you got to watch out for. He doesn't post a lot.
I know,
but he's working in the background. Congrats, they work.
I love it.
They work. Well, congrats, Michael. Looking forward to doing even better next year, man, and helping you navigate the off season. And it's okay. Like I said, you don't necessarily need to. For me, again, I just looking back. If I can go back in the past, I would tell my past self to not, like, if you could just get by in the off season without making money and just focus on, making 30% more next year, set that as a goal. If you've been around for a while, or if you're smaller, you can easily double. Like if you're making $50K a year, $100K a year, $150K a year, very, very definitely possible to double your earnings, literally double with some of this stuff that we talked about today. Again, area specific and everything, everything is different, but that is a better strategy than saying, hey, let me see if I can make 10K this off season. So let's do it, man. Kevin.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I have questions regarding like tables and chairs. From your experience, do you find people rent more 8-foot or 6-foot tables?
All right, Stacy and Justin, take it away. Great question.
What?
8 foot.
6 foot versus 8-foot tables.
I only own 8 foot.
Wow.
I think it also depends on your business model. Like, do you do backyards primarily, or are you more of like the event side?
Both.
For us, we just started this year, so we're only doing backyard. Because in order for us to do like the big like state park events, we need a much higher insurance,
Right.
which is way too expensive.
So my opinion is going to be completely different than theirs, because I primarily do, with my tables and chairs, I primarily do backyards. And we use all 6 foot. We very rarely get requests for 8 foot or have anybody complain.
Yep.
People ask me for
Same.
6 footers, and I just tell them we have 8 footers.
And if you're just delivering, Janet, I completely 100% agree with that. It takes up less space in your truck. It's what you have is what they get. We do delivery and pick up, and we have 10s. So our market is completely differently skewed from an inflatable person. I would say if all I had were inflatables and I was thinking of adding tables and chairs, I would only add black chairs, not white. And I would definitely go with one or the other on tables. Don't mix and match until you're bigger. That would be, your foray into it would be, we offer 4 8-foot tables and 40 chairs, or 4 6-foot tables and 32 chairs.
Now, why black chairs, if you don't mind me asking?
Because white chairs are a pain in the ass to clean.
I agree 100%.
I have both options, and I charge like way more for the white ones.
Oh yeah, we do too.
I have both options, and I just took the white off my website because I was just over it.
Yep, same.
So we actually have black, we have blue, and we have white. And
blue.
If I never do white chairs again, it will be fine. But I actually have some 8-foot tables as well. But again, we always push 6, like Stacy said. It takes up less room, it's less pain in the butt, and like every 100 orders maybe that have tables and chairs, one person will say, "Oh, I really wanted 8-foot," and that doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
And when it comes down to it, they're going to choose from what you have. I've just had this. We're recently coming into an acquisition of some tables and chairs from a company that's going out of business in Indiana. And there's 4 of us going in on this acquisition. And they only have 36-inch high tops. And every one of us are like, we don't want 36, we want 30s. But one of the guys is consistently always short on his high tops. I have 36s and 30s in my high top inventory. But there's one guy who leans on me often for tables. And I basically said to him, you buy these and these are what you have. So until, when they call you and they say, I need 30 high tops, you have 30, 36-inch high tops. That's what you have. And it's not like they're asking you for them. So you're already their first point. And if they don't know any different, they're going to get what they're offered. So if they don't know you have 6 foot and 8 foot, they'll take 6 foot. Eventually you will get somebody who will ask, but the percentage of when I have to rearrange a sale because I'm out of one size table or another, doesn't happen very often these days, but it has happened. I will say the linear feet of this order will match your order, and I will just charge you as if you had 5 8-foot tables, even though I'm going to give you 6 6-foot tables. So I give them the deal. They basically get a table for free, but it's because of my lack of inventory I'm having to do that. That happens in a blue moon now, but it used to be I had to, negotiate. Oh gosh, it's graduation season. I only have 38-foot tables and I only have, 36-foot tables. Well, now I have 138-foot tables and 136-foot tables. So I don't really run too short, but I have had festivals that are like, we want 100 8-foot tables, and I'm already booked out for several other things. And I will come back and say, look, I will give you that much linear feet, and out come all my 6 foots that aren't getting used. They get the same linear feet because all they care about is putting a chair around it. So in all of that being said, it's what you present your customer that you have for sale. And depending on what vehicles you're delivering in, are you in trailers? Are you in trucks? Are you in, box trucks? Depending what you're delivering in, that extra 2 feet can make a huge difference.
I tell you what,
currently just
I
in
lost.
trailers.
I lost. Like I did a giant tent and table and chair order or whatever, and I lost all the tables because I only had 8-footers, and it was a traveling 5K with a bunch of sponsors, and they all had 6-foot cloths, so they needed 6-foot. They needed 6-foot tables, so I lost I lost out like 18 tables or whatever. So it was like $300 or $400.
Can't get them all.
Yep.
Now regarding another question with chairs, I noticed like say 10 table have like the regular plastic chairs, and then they also have like those resin chairs. Do any of you ever invest in the resin chairs, or do you mainly?
Resins are for weddings. If you're not doing weddings, you're just doing bounce houses, you're better off going with the regular event chairs. You can stack 50 instead of only 25 in the same height.
Oh, okay.
And they're about half the cost.
Probably a good idea to start with just the plastic, Kevin. Maybe next year, if you decide to go.
Don't get the ones from Sam's Club. They don't stack as good as the other ones. You can stack way more of the other ones from Tent and Table.
Stacking is important.
Yeah, we ended up. Well, we had already literally just bought these. We did go with white chairs, and then the 6-foot tables. I was just, asking the questions to see if I made the right choice.
The white chairs, I mean, they're higher in demand, like Justin, and for weddings and graduation. But it's just cleaning. Is just you're gonna have to clean them more often, and they show the rust spots and all that. So it's just more maintenance. It's not really that you made the wrong choice. It's just you should definitely charge more than your competitors who are charging for black, 100%, because white is. And if I'll tell you what I like to do, and some may disagree. But I would put both on my website, even if you only have one, and make the black unavailable if you're planning. I do this with all my stuff. So I was just talking to somebody earlier. Somebody who said he's like, I only have 2 units. Should I get a Vent Hawk and et cetera? Like, well, regardless if you're going to get a Vent Hawk or not.
I'm doing more aggressive stuff than that. Start doing items and start that you don't even own and putting the SEO on it. So it's like you own a Hungry Hippo, but it's already out because it ranks high. Like.
Yeah, but if you're planning on getting this stuff anyway, it just makes it look like you have fuller equipment, and you just mark it as unavailable through Inflatable Office or your booking software or whatever. And then the customer sees that it's not that he only has white; he has like 6 different chairs, but only one's available. I should just get that one before that goes away too. So it's a strategy, and I think it's 100% ethical if you intend on getting those things. Same thing again if you only have like a couple bounce houses. I think you should have at least 6 or 9, like 3 rows, just so that it looks like, you have otherwise they might compare you to people that have a lot more and be like, oh, why don't you have anything? And just mark them as unavailable. So it goes from looking like you only have 2 units to saying you have 9 units, but only 2 are available, and just supply and demand is going to make them want it. So, I don't think you made the wrong decision at all.
That unit is booked out for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year, right? Oh, I don't. But, you also get calls. So, Kevin, if you start getting calls for resin chairs like crazy, because people will still call, even if it's unavailable, then you know what? Maybe I should get resin chairs, because in your area, there's a demand for that. So, again, I don't think you made the wrong decision at all. I think, you just got to strategize, and I think you do pretty well.
If you get a bunch of tables and chairs, like, dude, put a minimum. Do a minimum or, like, you need to. Stacy, what's your minimum?
That's if it's standalone, right? Not necessarily with the bounce house.
Yeah. I'm curious. Mine's $200.
$200 order.
Yeah, because my basic bounce houses are 200, so I can't really go lower than that.
Makes sense. Unless it's pickup.
Who's more up north, like where you have to deal with fall trees? Like, how do you deal with
I'm in
tents
Buffalo.
and that?
I'm in Buffalo.
Terrible.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. We have a big problem with leaves in Chicago here. That's part of the reason we shut down before the fall.
The leaves get on the tents and you just shake it off. Pretty much, if they're wet, it kind of sucks. You gotta kind of like broom them off, and it gets all like all up on the tent. You just put them through the wash the next year. It'll be kind of fine. You'll be good. The amount of money you'll make on that top and replacing the tops like nothing. Tops are cheap.
Oh, okay.
So,
We're thinking about investing in the high frame tents. What would you recommend, high frame or the frame? Or the peak
I love my West Coast frames. My guys, I like West Coast or a high peak. I would not get a full tent. I'm getting out of full tents. My guys can't do them. I think they're easy, but I guess nobody else does.
Yeah, I agree there. We did a video, Justin and Stacy.
I think easy.
There's a video on that. I think I linked to it in that survival kit, but it was like 3 hours of going back and forth, which we won't do now. But tents definitely do a lot more research. Honestly though, like there's a lot more videos, between Justin and a lot of these other tent guys making videos. So I think it's better than when I started. There was like no videos, so it was a lot harder for me. I think if I had that, I may still be doing them.
I'm not even the good guy. The tent guys, Adam is the best.
Adam has a ton of videos. Yeah, I was watching another one with was it the photo booth guy or he's pretty cool.
Yeah, bartending, photo boothing, rental guy.
Yeah, he's super.
Lee's awesome. He's a great guy. They'll all come out of hiding in the winter, pretty much like I am too.
Yeah. So
what size would you recommend us start out with, and how many?
I only do 20 wides. I don't want to get bigger than 20 wides. I probably will get bigger than 20 wides eventually when it's like, oh well, why not? Maybe a 30 wide, and it could slowly grow from there. But I don't see that happening for years. 20 wides are easy. I know, everybody likes to throw out Busy Bee's name, but they only do 20 wides in Boston.
When you mean 20 wide, you mean like 20 by 20, and you
20 by 20 by 30, 20 by 40.
Oh, okay. So it's still that family of them.
Yeah, 40 wides is 40 by 40, 40 by 60, 40 by 80.
Oh, okay.
30 wides is like 30 by 30, 30 by 40, 30 by 60.
Because we thought about getting one 20 by 20 and one 20 by 30.
I get 20 by 20 and 20 by 40.
And just skip the 30?
Yeah.
What about
and then get it eventually.
What am I trying to say? Walls. Or whatever they call it.
Walls? Yeah, you need walls. Need lights.
Where do you get your lights from?
You need
I know I saw Tariq had like the globe lights.
No, I don't do that. Look at the tent guy. I make my own lights, string lights. And it's super cheap from Action Lighting. And yeah, I think for like $300 or $400, I did like 500 feet of lighting.
Now, I'm from Rhode Island. Would it be kind of too late to invest in tents right now?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
I would wait till next year.
Why is that? Well,
because if you buy it, it's still going to take you like 2 weeks, and it's like September. So now you got to market and figure out how to do tents in the month of September. And then, you know what I mean? It starts becoming fall in October, and then it's November. It might snow end of October, November. It's your snow window.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I thought you were asking if it's too late for next year. Everything, I think this year is wrapped up. I wouldn't start anything this year either. Yeah. Plus, you got IAPA.
We had gotten the tables and chairs, but we held off on a tent because we figured at this point it might be too late.
My biggest thing with tents, Kevin, you need a good team. You need a good crew. You got to have good, reliable.
Do you know how to set up a tent?
I was just giving YouTube. I've watched a few videos on it.
I would not do that.
How else are you going to learn?
I would go find a buddy. I told Mike Miller, I'm like, dude, I'll give you a 20 by 20. Just play with it. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's he's literally my competitor, but he's like a good friend of mine. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I will literally give you a 20 by 20. Play with it. Put it up on your site. Rent it out here and there for your friends. You know what I mean? Get comfortable. And then you tell me if you want to buy more or whatever. And if you do, just buy the same thing as me so we can share parts. And then, I would find somebody you're cool with. Go hang out with somebody. Stacy said she'll hire you. She'll teach you things.
That's actually good advice. Actually, if you have somebody like that, if you have somebody local who lets you maybe just set up a tent into your house, because it's rewarding, man. Like once you put up a tent, you feel so good about yourself, but it's just you don't realize that it's going to be in addition to all the bounce house stuff you have to do, and it's going to make it that much more stressful. And a lot of these people are doing family events that you don't really get a redo. It's not like it's a birthday party where you could say, hey, I was late. Sorry. Next year, I'll give you a free kind candy machine. Like
my little secret to tents and bounce houses, set up your tents on Thursdays and Fridays for the weekends, or at least 1 to 2 days before, if not 3, if it's going to rain or something weird like that. And then if anybody has a problem with that, literally just tell them, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you want a tent or not? No, they're not going to argue with you, like, you know what I mean, at all. So, like, because you can't really, if you don't do that, you're screwed. So, and then what does that mean then? You're setting up tents during the week where everybody has all the time in the world, because everybody does all the work, like 90% of their work on the weekends. So now you could do that and alleviate more stress too. Because I straight up tell people, oh, well, do you have any specials when you do the tent in a bounce house? I'm like, yeah, well, we're going to set up your tent on Friday. All the ones with the bounce houses for Saturday, I always set those up Friday. I try not to set up those 2 days early because it just gets ridiculous. But, you know what I mean? Because there's like still a value thing. You don't want to undervalue yourself too. So I'll set up those bounce houses and tents the day before, and it just alleviates even more stress for the day before. I throw out half my stuff for Saturday out on Friday with my tents, just so I don't have to deal with it in the morning. Like all the stuff in the morning and all the later ones I do real quick in the morning there. So this way, like if you can literally fill your entire week up with work if you end up doing tents that way. And then you pick all the tents up on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then whatever work you do during the week, you do during the week. And then that also leaves you with more money and time because now you got all these trucks moving around. And if you have bigger trucks and stuff going on, now you can start, oh, well, what if I mark you to a couple daycares and I can just hit those up on the way and drop them off during the week? So it's just, there's moves to be made.
I take it you guys all use box trucks?
I do. But I use trailers too. But I have a box truck, and I try to just use box trucks now, just because you're up north. I would do a box truck. A lot of the people down south like to do trailers. Like I would, you know, what I mean, if I had got a couple guys with like, I could do like a trailer maybe and have them sling all that stuff. But to be honest with you, the guys are more comfortable with a box truck. It rains randomly up here. It gets crappy. You can't really use those open trailers all winter long. So, and I do tables and chairs, and I have lots of them. So I want to, like, they transport so much better in an enclosed trailer and a box truck with a lift gate. So there's a lot of synergy there too. I actually found out that the wood in the box trucks, like it's some type of wood. The one in the box truck I got, so it's like I don't even have to waterproof it or anything. It's like it's already waterproof pretty much because it's just made out of such durable, and like they use it for ships and whatnot. So it's like whatever. Because I was gonna lie next to the whole thing, like I was gonna do my trailer, but you don't have to do that too. So that was actually a plus.
You can lease box trucks, so it's expensive now, a lot more expensive than last year. But we own a pickup truck and trailer, but we lease a box truck every year, just pretty much all summer long. And that's
I got a nice truck.
Because I think I had seen a video of yours or something. Yeah, like Penske or something.
Penske. This year we had to shop around. We still went with Penske, but I don't know what we're gonna do next year. It's getting so.
How much does that cost? Like, if you don't mind me asking.
Last year we got a great deal. This year I'm not as involved this year, but they went up big time. You have to pay the rate, then you have to pay the mileage, then you have to pay the insurance as well. Then there's taxes, but it ends up.
If you have insurance, I'm pretty sure you can put it on your insurance.
Yeah. I never did that because it was always frowned upon. Everybody said get their insurance; it's better, and it was. Like, we did have an issue, but now we're actually going to look for decent insurance because it's just getting so expensive. But I'm trying to think. If you message me, Kevin, I could find out my exact rates because I've had a great year. Honestly, I haven't really been involved much on that side of things. I got a great office manager, so she does all that. But I can find out exactly what we're paying, and I'll be happy to send that to you.
Yeah, because when we because we just started like in June, and when we started, we used our Highlander with like a 5x8 trailer. Now, like, I have a Toyota Tundra, and we're still using that 5x8, but we rent like a U-Haul to kind of have like two teams go out at once. And that's what we've been doing now. And I had thought about getting like a bigger trailer, but because we're more up north, I've been looking more into. Yeah, I've been looking more into those, but I found they're very expensive for extremely high mileage.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure about the lease option.
The lease
for Home Depot?
He's talking about buying.
No, I'm saying Home Depot box truck.
That's what we do. Home Depot, take out the Penske.
To buy or lease?
You started doing the Home Depot trick too? Like, yeah. No, you go right to Home Depot. The ones that are like 16 footers, they're like the small ones, not the Penskes, because Home Depot does Penske rentals too. You want to do go to Home Depot, and they do those little box trucks, and you can literally fit like 8 units in that thing. Like, and it's perfect. Like, just, you don't know how many. That's literally my go-to. Like, they personally know me over there. They know my phone number. Like, they'll hold it for me. They normally don't hold it for anybody. But
so you do rentals too, or like you lease from them?
Yeah, I'll rent the box truck for a day for $130, and I don't pay for the insurance because it goes on my insurance, and I don't pay for mileage. It's just $130, and I gotta make sure I fill it before I bring it back.
I'll have to look into that.
And I run that thing all around Buffalo all day long.
Yeah, because that was my biggest thing. Like, because when local people would recommend, they're like, "Oh, you should buy a box truck. Buy a box truck." I just found them way too expensive for the amount of miles they have, and I'm not a mechanic.
I spent $12,000, and I bought one with 60,000 miles. Things PERS.
Really? I guess I'm just doing a terrible job researching, because I was finding for like $50,000 ones that have like 130 to 200,000.
I will sit and look for months when I want to buy something like that. Like, I am the worst. Tariq, how long did I say I was going to buy a box truck for?
Yeah, it's my experience is similar to yours, Kevin. I couldn't find anything good, so I just stopped and leave. So don't feel bad. Justin, yeah, he's all in. So, it's tough, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I also like it's the type of thing that you also like. Where are you looking? Like, I don't look in my state for something like that. Like, I'm not even like, you're gonna find a good box. Like, there might not even be a good box truck in your state for sale. Like,
that is true.
Like, I got my box truck in the lower parts of PA, like Allentown, PA.
Because I heard from my Allstate agent, he's like, if I'm gonna buy a bigger trailer, he's like, you should really like just travel down south and just pick one up somewhere.
That's in general too. You're not gonna find anything up here that's good. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of like salted up crap by you too.
Salted up crap. Very, very good way to put it.
I do recommend I do appreciate the recommendation on the leasing the box truck. I never really thought about that.
They use salt by you, Tariq?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Good way to put it.
In PA, they don't.
We could keep talking
use
box
salt.
trucks. Anybody else have? That's a big topic. It's important. Anybody have any want to talk about anything else, or we can keep going with this? It's a big investment. You got to pay more for your truck than you do for your
E-Track. E-Track in the box truck will save your life. That thing, I love it.
What is that?
Basically just put tracks in the box truck so you can literally strap anything any type of way.
Yeah.
Tables, chairs, bounce houses, dollies. They make little like boxes and bags and all kinds of stuff that you could put like tools and all kinds of weird stuff that clip right into it too, and it's all versatile and can move around. I'm a really big stickler when it comes to box trucks and trailers to make sure that the entire floor, like you know what I mean. If you're gonna put something in there like a box for steaks, don't screw it in. No permanent structures inside trailers or anything. Like everything versatile and movable, so you can use it for anything. Like suddenly it's not good for bounce houses, and you need to move like a car from from your uncle's house or something. You can go make a couple $100 doing that because you don't have some giant thing holding steaks right at the end of the freaking walkway. This is I'm a real big advocate of that. There's even this
little box trucks you guys rent. Do they have those lift gates?
Yeah, mine has a lift gate. Most of them do have a lift gate, and most of them do have E-Track too. A lot of them. If not, they have like this.
A lift gate is really essential.
Huh?
A lift gate is essential. Don't even get a box truck without a lift gate.
Yeah. The Home Depot box trucks don't have lift gates. If I didn't have a power dolly, without the power dolly, it sucked. You got to flip them a couple times, but if you don't got no truck or nothing, they're still great. But yeah, I always try and send the power dolly goes with that Home Depot box truck when it goes on, so you can get deflatables in the truck. The big Herc kind of rides if you put two wheels right into one edge, one wheel rides off the one side, and you're able to put it right in.
That actually brings up another question. Where did you guys get power dollies from? I know there's Rosal and Jolly Dolly.
I got mine from Granite, the big Herc.
Yeah, I got mine from Granite too.
You got a big Herc?
Yeah.
You like it?
The boys do. I don't ever touch it. I just point at it and make sure they plug it in.
Right.
Because we definitely plan on investing in a power dolly. We didn't bother this season because they were all out. We wouldn't have gotten them until September, October anyways. By the time we thought about it.
I'll tell you what though. I'm thinking about getting one of them Jerry Shepherds. Those things are like the Porsche, like the Tesla of the dollies. Like a waiting list, and they're sold out, and they're taking pre-orders only during certain times. You can't even order one until IAPA.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to cut out of here. Sir, talking about the tents, you were asking about what size to start with. If you want to have a conversation, feel free to message me. I can give you whatever information that you can pick my brain over. But if you were to take my recommendation, or you would want my recommendation, I started with 20 by 20s, a 20 by 30, and a 20 by 40, and then I added a 30 by 30. I go all the way up to 40 by 120 now. But if you want a solid backyard renter, 2 20 by 20s and a 20 by 30 is an excellent place to start because you can make then a 20 by 40 or a 20 by 50. You can tell Justin, he does that all the time. He'll tell you about that all day long. It's a great place to start, but there'll be a point where you grow. If you like tents, it'll be a point where you grow. But that would be if I were to do a starter set of tents, that's what I would do. 20 by 20, 20 by 30. And if you have the space in your budget, a second 20 by 20.
Okay. And I'll probably need something in between the two tents if I'm attaching attaching them?
You can get a rain gutter between the two tents. See, what I don't know if you're looking at like a tent and table, which is a cross cable high peak, which has got 4 legs and a cable, a center pole, or if you're actually looking for like a traditional frame tent, which is like a hip tent, which has got more poles to it and it doesn't have the high peak. So a lot of it depends on what you're planning to buy.
Yeah, I think we're leaning more
There's several styles of tents, and it depends on what your usage is. Like if you just want a tent that'll break down and then go in the back of a trailer and work for you all day long for like backyard parties and stuff like that, those tent and tables are fine for that. I will warn you, buy some extra parts because their corners break really easily and often. So order some extra parts because the last thing you need to do is be out a tent because you had a corner break.
Where do you buy tents from?
I get mine from what you call it, A1 in Florida, but I don't know if I should, because everybody. Am I wrong, Stacy? Like those are the only people that make those that way. Like my poles go into the corners, and everybody else's corners go into the poles.
No, so yours. Your fitting is on the outside of your pole, or your fitting is on the inside of your pole?
I have push pins, and my poles go into the brackets in the corners.
Yep. I have economy, and everything I have is push pin. It's exactly like that. It's my favorite tent.
Okay. Mark tried to sell me into it. I'm like, no. And he was trying to say that he's the only one, but I thought there was more. Economy does it.
No, he's not.
Style.
No, economy does it. And I love the push pins because then you're not carrying around the D-ring or the cotter keys or whatever you want to call them. I have both styles, but I hate them.
You have both styles? How the hell do you handle that?
I put the ones I don't like up on a shelf and don't use them.
Yeah, you're better off selling them.
Eventually I will sell them, but for now I've moved too many times. I got to find all the parts.
What company
they weren't mine.
You guys?
They were mine on purchase. They landed in my lap because I bought somebody else's crap.
I hear you there. Do you color code your poles?
My poles are all color coded.
Samesies.
Economy sends them to you with the color coding on them. They have little plastic ends that go in them.
So you're gonna spray paint my crap.
Well, I can say after a while you lose those ends and you do some spray painting, but the little plastic cap is really nice. So if I were, and I've been with Economy for over 20 years. I mean, they have several styles within the Economy brand, but they're all innies or outies on the pins. So like once you go to 30 wide, it's outies, not innies, but it's still got the push button pin. I turned Chris over in Indiana from All in One. I made him buy some Economy, and now he only buys Economy. So there is some legitimacy to the push pin thing. There's fewer parts to have to worry about.
Pretty versatile with A1.
I don't know if they are or not. I wouldn't know because I've never looked at A1. So
I don't know. I'm curious now. You know the lengths of your poles?
Yeah, like 10 and a half, 14 and 9, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All West Coast frame is interchangeable. I can put a West Coast frame into my Economy if I have a pin to go through it. I've had people accidentally pick up a West Coast pipe and have to drill a hole on site because they only have pins, they only have buttons. I love it when my guys do something like that and I tell them how to fix it and they're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, hell's yeah, you can. I've done it. So, but that's just tent problem solving, but it's all compatible. The button system is unique in the fact that it saves you some time carrying around the extra parts. And if you don't have the right little parts, you're going to always screw up a tent. But when I was asking what he was looking at, like if he's looking at tent and table, that's going to be a cross cable tent, that he's looking at, like a cross cable high peak, because it sounds like it's where he got his tables and chairs from. So I was curious what he was thinking of starting with, because that's a tent that'll break down into 10-foot pieces. You can haul it around in a pickup truck.
Did they consider not